Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? Then mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side manage shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler in person. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was woofing, first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch, boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga, it'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, no revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Happy Thursday afternoon. Happy Thursday afternoon, man. Shout out to everybody, man, out there in the stream world, in the chat, and in the bushes. Shout out to everybody. All right, y'all. Let's give Brother Eric his due, man. Shout out to 16 to Life. Go over there and check him out on his YouTube page. Blowing up, man, like the world trade, like as Biggie would say. And, you know, he's got a lot of good stuff over there. Music, gear, merch. skits, funny skits, a lot of jail stories, a lot of street narcotic stories. Funny dude, man. Eric's funny dude, man, but he's a good-hearted dude, man. So go check the brother out, man. And if you like his content, man, get a subscribe, man. Be a subscriber to him. All right, thank you, brother Eric. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for this for the music, man. That is brother Eric, and all right, y'all. Y'all read the title. Y'all watch Steve Harvey. Y'all watch where you listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show, right? Whatever place. In LA, it comes on here on Stevie Wonder station, KJLH, on the FM dial, man. And been there for like maybe, I don't know, man, 15, 20 years maybe, right? And it's a staple of the morning, right? Just came in, took Tom Joyner, and just folded Tom Joyner up like a card table and pushed him on out the way, right? Shout out to Tom Joyner, by the way. But anyway, yeah, man. Shirley Strawberry, who hosts a segment on the Steve Harvey Show. I think she's one of the producers as well. But she hosts a segment on there called the Strawberry Letter, where they read different letters about all kind of nonsense that people that are absolutely insane are going through. And instead of telling them to go get a counselor, they give them horrible advice, right? Instead of saying, hey, man, you and your wife having problems, maybe you ought to go see a marriage counselor. Instead of saying that, they give them advice. Hey, what you ought to do is, take your wife and they give horrible advice, especially Shirley. Shirley gives horrible advice. She has a proven ineffective track record at sexually selecting, and she gives horrible, life destroying advice. She gives life destroying advice to people, man. And she's always like critical of other people's situations. Well, as they say, karma's a bitch, as they say, right? But now in all fairness, I wouldn't wish this on no one. I wouldn't wish what happened to Shirley on no one, man. I wouldn't wish this. And I don't like, it's not that I don't like Shirley. I don't have nothing against Shirley. I just don't like the advice she gives. Like a lot of people, man, I wish they would qualify themselves before they're giving out advice. But some people say, this is what I think. So based upon my unique situation, therefore, I think that that situation could be replicated with you. And it might not be, right? Some people have a situation because the right circumstances all came together, right? Person was willing to deal with you and all the issues you got, and they loved you, and even though you're not that good of a person, right? Or you were heathen, right? You were heathen, and somebody said, hey, I'm willing to love a heathen. I want to love heathen, and I want to teach other people how to love heathens, right? Marry a heathen. Come to my class. I'm gonna teach you how to marry a heathen, right? Man, before I do all that, man, before I go in, let me shout out the people that's in the chat, man. Let me check everybody in, man. First of all, in the building is our resident sniper, Risa Neal, man, our enforcer, man. If you listen, man, if you have any thought process of trolling, man, I'm telling you, you see that big orange R right there? Don't do it, man. You don't do it. You're going to end up in limbo somewhere, right? You're going to end up out of the stream. Let me explain to you what's going to happen, because it's happened so many times. What you're going to do is you're going to get into a Risa, and Risa's going to win, right? Risa's going to win. She's got the wrench. She's going to win. And then you're going to hit me up in an email saying, I was going in and I was talking to one of your mods, and all of a sudden I got put out. Right, I'm just gonna tell you what's gonna happen, right? So if you don't want that to happen, if you really want to if you have an honest heart, because I think Risa has an understanding that if you really just have an objection and you just want to discuss it, then we can discuss it. But I think Risa's more like, hey, if you're going to create this issue, you creating a unnecessary problem. She not having it. So, and Risa's got, she's what that? Remember Men in Black? They said, we above the government, right? We can do what we want to do. Yeah, Risa's above the government, right? She can do what she wants, man. So I'll just say, okay, Risa, whatever you say, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to hit me up and I'm going to say, well, after you get done to explain the whole situation, I would say, you know what do you want to come back, right? I can take your name out of limbo if you want me to, right? Because you're going to think I'm going to do something to Risa and ain't nothing happening to Risa, right? So that's what if you have the mind of trolling, just let it go, man. Let it go. Risa's here. Let it go. Just let it go. In Mills as well. Yeah, let's just let it go. Just let it go. Because they are shoot first, ask questions later. And you lucky if in Mills, at least in Mills may ask you a question. Risa ain't asking no questions, man. Pow, you gone. Hey, shout out to Risa. Glad to have you in the building, sis. What about Sister Eddie? She's in the building. Excuse me. Right? Sister Eddie's in the building, man. My Taurus sister, man. Sister Eddie's another one, man. I don't mess with them Tauruses, man. I don't mess with Sister Eddie, man. Because she's nice, man. We Tauruses are really nice people, man. So just like Anderson, right? We're really nice people. But if you push us, man, that's when you see a whole nother side of us that's just beyond ridiculous, right? It's beyond ridiculous. I know Tauruses. That's why I just leave them alone. I got a son that's a Taurus, man. I just that's the one I can't force that one. The other two I can kind of play games with, manipulate them a little bit. But that middle boy, I can't. He's a Taurus, man. If y'all push him too much, he's going to go bananas, man. Shout out to Sister Eddie. Glad to have you in the building, sis. What about Anderson? Anderson the Great. Shout out to Anderson the Great. Said we black again. We always are black again. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you having you in the building, man. That's my other Taurus, brother. I miss these Tauruses, man. I keep it moving on them, right? If I got a problem with any one of my Taurus people, man, I'll send them an email, right? I definitely ain't going head to head with them. Who else is in the building? Glad to have you in the building, my brother, Brother Anderson. Glad to have you in the building, as always. What about Vaughn Bryant? Vaughn Bryant is in the building, man. Shout out to Vaughn Bryant in the building, man. Vaughn Bryant, man, another one, strong soldier, man. Another one, man, in the building, man. For the Lord, right? Shout out to Vaughn, man. Glad to see you in the building, my brother. Who else is in the building? Let's check everybody in. What about us, dear sister Quantum? Quantum's in the house, man. Shout out to Quantum, man. Quantum's in the house, man. Quantum is another one that goes around, man, just maintaining, making sure all of us content creators are doing what we're supposed to do, man. She'll let us know if we falling short. She'll let us know if we on the point. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Quantum, man. I know Quantum, you probably don't think, oh man, I'm just passing through. I don't really make a difference. You make a difference. Every person makes a difference. Every person makes a difference. And we even looking for you. When we see you, he's like, okay, Quantum is here. Okay. We must be doing something right. Because we know Quantum is not going to step her foot in the door unless you're doing something of some significance. So shout out to Quantum. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Good to see you as always. Quantum said happy expansion day. Thank you. Hey, Quantum, appreciate you. Who else in the building? Oh, my brother Simmer, man. Sim's in the building, man. Shout out to brother Sim. He said, shout out to the chat panel. Hold on, bro. I'm going to need to hear one example of her bad advice. You must listen way more than me. Hey, man, Sim. Man, I've heard her say so many different crazy things over the years, man. You know what I mean? And she just, but I'll pull something up. I'll put something up for you, man, because she is horrible. And then Steve Harvey is just as horrible, giving out especially romantic advice, sexual selection advice. They give out horrible advice for the most part. Every once in a while they hit the nail on the head, but they just give out the worst advice ever, man. Most of the time. But anyway, man, we'll get to that Sim. Shout out to Sim Simma, another one that'll hold our feet to the fire, man, and tell us, hey, Clarence, that was working, Clarence. Maybe that don't work too good. Maybe you should try this instead, right? Shout out to Sim. Glad to have you in the building. Who else? Who else is in the building? Who else is in the building? Is that everybody? Let's see. No, we got Vaughn Eric is in the building. Vaughn Eric is in the building. Shout out to Vaughn Eric, man. Another very valuable person, man, comes and helps us content creators keep our story straight, right? Vaughn Eric will be like, wait a minute, Clarence. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. You got to bring some information to back that up, Clarence, right? He helps us keep our slates clean, keep our words pure, right? Shout out to Von Eric with that little pushback he gives us. If he hears something that don't sound right, Von Eric will definitely check us on it. Shout out to Von Eric. Man, what am I saying, y'all? I'm telling y'all, man, we ain't got no capers up in here, man. I mean, I think everybody has appreciation for me, and they probably like me, but that ain't gonna stop them from correcting me, right? And that's what I appreciate. I don't want that to stop you from saying, "Hey, Clarence, man, you got your left shoe on your right foot, and you got your right shoe on your left foot." Nah, man, tell me so I'll know, right? I'll be out there. I don't want to be out there thinking I'm cool at the party, man. I got the wrong shoe on the wrong foot, right? Shout out to everybody in the building. I think that's everybody that checked in. Anybody else? Yeah. You're right, Quantum. You got it. He gonna make you go get the receipt. Oh, no. Von Eric will be like, hey, go back in the back, go in the filing cabinet, go get the receipt. Tell us what day you got it, when, who, and who signed it, right? But shout out, we love that, man. We love that. All right. So I think that's everybody that checked in, man, that wants to check in. All right, y'all. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it quick. Today we're gonna make it quick. I'm not gonna go into no long, super long thing. Oh, I gotta send the links out. I didn't send the links out. I gotta send that out. Okay, but before that, I'm gonna do a little monologue and then we're gonna go in. Okay, so Shirley Strawberry, man. Let me see if I could do what Sim was asking me to do, man. Find something that she said that really just. I mean, you could find just about any advice that she. You know what? I don't. Let me do it. Let me do that later, Sim. Let me do that later because I need to get right to it, man. Yeah, this lady is just. She's a nice lady and everything like that. I remember out here when she used to be on the morning show in the on the beat out here, right? 92.3 the beat out here in LA. She used to be, this was before the Steve Harvey show. So I've been knowing about Shirley way before she got on Steve Harvey show. She got on Steve Harvey show after she came off the beat. Steve Harvey went and got her, and I think two other ones, called them Steve's Angels, right? He had her, Dominique DePrima, and some other chick. I forgot the other chick that he had on there, but he had three of them on there that he had went and got from all the local radio stations in LA. And he did a show and he called them Steve's Angels, right? This is when he lived up here in they got a community up here called Mountain Gate, right? This is when he was slumming, living up in Mountain Gate. Right? Go look up Mountain Gate, man. It's a very exclusive community, man. You got to pay lots of money. Him, Master P, Dave Justice. Oh, man. Him, Master P, Dave Justice, a bunch of other celebrities was living up there in Mountain Gate, right? It's a guard gated community, man. And I remember because his son was probably about 8 or 9, or 6 or 7, something like that. His son was really young at that time. He was married to the not Marjorie, but the other lady before that. What's that lady's name? I forgot the lady. The lady that they said she was crazy and everything like that. Anyway, they had a house up here in Mountain Gate, and so yeah. So I remember when he started doing the morning show out here, and he pulled Shirley from the beat to come do the morning show with him. So anyway, so if you're gonna ask, how do you know, Clarence? Do you listen to Shirley? I've been hearing Shirley since probably the mid 90s. I've been hearing Shirley since probably the early to mid 90s on the radio. I've been hearing, and she's been giving advice to different people. This is her third husband, I believe. It's her third one. I believe it's her third one. And it's definitely not the Well, it might be the second one. It's definitely not her first husband. She's married to the first husband. She left him, and I think she had another husband, and then she got this husband. And Steve Harvey introduced her to this husband, right? So she's been giving out advice for a long time, but it's been all bad, right? I guess they never said Shirley's gonna give good advice. So let's look at let's look at what's going on, right? We're gonna take a look at what's going on with Shirley and her husband. Okay. Man. Okay, here we go. Here's Shirley, and here's the show. We're gonna play a little bit of the show.
Yes, sir.
Would you die for her?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Wow. Would you take care of her before you took care of yourself?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this here. Would you love everything about her and everybody connected to her as if it was your own?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then, Shirley.
Yes.
This your man right here.
What? It's Ernesto.
Wait a minute.
This Shirley, happy birthday, is Ernesto. And this is your birthday, Shirley. And Ernesto is here. For those of you that's listening, a man is walking in the room right now.
Oh my God.
Are you ready?
Hi, honey.
Yeah, I'm here, Ernesto. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
What the hell going on when I
Okay, remember, this is the man that Steve Harvey introduced to Shirley, right? Steve Harvey walked her down the aisle and gave Shirley to this man. This man got cases in California, open cases in California. He got open cases in Atlanta. He got open cases in a couple more places. He got warrants out for his arrest, man. I mean, this dude got a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? And I'm not saying he's a bad dude because he got stuff going on. I mean, we all have had things happen, right? We all have been out of pocket at certain points in our lives, right? I ain't holding that against the brother, but you ain't ready to marry if you got all this stuff going on, right? But sometimes we get involved in stuff, man, and we say, I'm gonna give it a try. This is a good woman, I'm gonna give it a try, right? The brother did time for bank robbery, right? He did caught some Fed time for that, right? I mean, he's been through a lot. Dude has done a lot. But now they had these CP charges on him, right? The child prime. Yikes, right? Anyway, this is Happier Times. Let's watch some Happier Times.
not there?
Wait.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, honey.
You all right?
Oh my God.
It's your day.
What the hell?
Shut up.
Love you.
I love you too. Oh,
What the hell?
Shut up.
Yeah, got one more thing for you.
for me?
Yes. Yeah, calm down here.
He just
Hold on.
He just showed Shirley a diamond ring.
Yeah.
Will you marry me?
What?
I will marry you. Oh my God.
Hold on.
Huh?
Who the hell is that?
Shirley's crazy. Shirley's crazy.
Who is Alfredo?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Go, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, right? You got these people that I just want everybody to be married, right? And so they just push people together to get married just because they have a physical attraction to each other or some type of attraction to each other, whether it's physical or sexual or they got some type of interest in each other, right? And it may not even be rooted in the character of the person, that's where you should start, right? The physical just to get your attention, right? Just to get your attention, get you in the door. Then they should be redirected to the character and see what kind of character you got, right? Sister Annie said, "Oh, Clarence, are you saying we shouldn't let our friends set us up?" No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, don't just go with it, right? Man come up looking good, smelling good and everything, and he say, "I want to marry you." Well, okay, brother, but we got to do some investigating, right? In the nation, we got a courting process, right? We got a courting process, and in that courting process, we gotta go over some information, and we gotta get clear on some things, right? I ain't just gonna marry you just because my friend and I trust him or I trust her. No, because here's the problem, man. Here's the problem. Thank you, Sim. Here's the problem, man. Here's the problem. You don't really know what somebody do in their spare time because you ain't with them all the time. See what I'm saying? A lot of these people present well. They present well. They look like, man, oh man, they're a good person and this and this and that. And maybe they are for the most part. But we all got some stuff we need to work on, right? All of us have something we need to work on. There's always something to improve, right? There's some character issue that we could improve on. So we need to be working on that. But some of us are so far, some of us have worked on our character enough to where we got it under control enough that we can still bond with other people without letting those character issues destroy a friendship or romantic relationship. We can still work on those things and still be in a relationship. But see, some people ain't got there yet. Some people ain't got there yet. They got so much character issues, man, or issues that at some point it's going to seep into the relationship, right? They can only hide it for so long, right? And that's what most people do. Shout out to the Harris Tribe. Glad to have you in the building. Shout out to Jill's Chocolate Boutique. Glad to have you in the building. See, when you first meet somebody, man, they ain't wilding out, man. They act real nice. They smell real good. They look good. They always brushing their teeth. They always making sure they don't fart in front of you. Everything is cool, right? They always making sure that they, Vaughn said, how long have they known each other before he proposed? I'm not sure, Vaughn. That information I don't have. But the point is, a simple background check would have said, wait a minute, brother. Let's go over this stuff, right? Okay, so maybe you don't kick them to the curb, but you say, hey, let's go over this stuff. Shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Let's go over this stuff. Can you explain to me why you did this and how your thinking is different today than at this point when you did that? That's what I need to know. I heard people asking the question, what's the point of the body count? Why is the body count? Why is the body count? Because somebody with a high body count has a certain way of thinking, has a certain lifestyle. And do you want to marry somebody with that lifestyle? I don't. That's why that's why the body count is important, because now that I know it's high, now the next thing I need to know is, do you still think that way? Do you still operate that way that got you that high body count? That's very relevant to being in a relationship with somebody. That's why a body count is so important. And I heard some women saying, oh, no, it don't matter. Yeah, it matters. That matters. That matters. Besides, most men don't want 100,000 miles on a vagina. Most men don't want to, they don't want to pay new prices on a vagina with 100,000 miles on it or 500,000 miles on it, right? I know women don't understand this concept, right? But the what makes most women valuable is the low mileage on the vagina. That's what gives you a really high value, right? In most men's, I'm talking about this is how men think about it. This is how men think about it. right? That's how men, marriage-minded men think about it like that. Let me say it like that. Because you're fresh and fits, and the dudes that's just trying to bomb at will, they don't care if you got a high body count or not. They don't care. They just trying to scratch you off the list, right? But somebody interested in marrying you, of course that's gonna matter, right? That's gonna matter to him, because he's gonna want to know, okay, how did you get this high body count? And whatever you was doing to get it like that, are you still operating that way? Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation, right? That's a whole nother conversation. The point in this situation is Shirley didn't do a good investigation. This dude got cases. Now, they've been married for 8 years. He got cases all over. And then come to find out, he got a girlfriend in Florida. I mean, this dude had every way you can mess up. This dude is messing up, man. Every kind of way you can mess up, this brother's been messing up, man. But see, it goes to show that some people. This is what one of the things I say a lot. This is what happens when people want to get married, right? They want it, right? But they don't really want it, but the girl wants it, so they want it. I want to be married, but I really don't want that. I'm still for the street. This dude was still for the streets, right? And he tried to, he did what most men do. And well, women too. When they really want to be for the streets, they hide it, right? They think they're protecting the other person by hiding these secret desires, right? I want 2 or 3 other women. I want sex all the time. I want this. I want to rob a bank. I want to do that. Whatever these little desires, these little get-rich-quick schemes that they have, that's, against the law, they hide it. Now, people hide behaviors all the time. They hide them, right? Sometimes you be with a woman, man, and a woman has an issue, a psychological issue, she hide it, right? She hides that she's a hoarder, or she hides that she's a manic depressive, or she hides it until they get you so comfortable around them. Then they say, okay, this man care enough about me. He gonna stay no matter what. Now I can show him this thing here. As opposed to showing to you up front. Why? Because if they show it to you up front, you're gonna do something for your own protection. You're gonna leave for your own protection, right? But they don't want you to protect yourself. They want you to hang in there with them. It's a crazy world, man. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here, man. Sim said, shout out to the Harris tribe, by the way. Sim said the issue is not the mileage. I disagree with that with Sim, but Sim said, anyway, the issue is not the mileage. The issue is the so many experienced encounters. Well, that's going to give you the mileage, Sim. It would be probably if she, it would be a probably if she even had 100 non-sexual friends. I think, Sim, if you ask 10 men, and why don't you do that for homework, Sim? You ask 10 men, hey, would you rather have a woman that has 100 non-sexual friends or 100 sexual encounters? Which one would you prefer? I think overwhelmingly the men would prefer the 100 non-sexual friends. I think overwhelmingly they would prefer that, right? So say, bro, C, did this homework tonight? Is this social security number? Hey, man, I don't know all that, man, but what I do know is this dude, and you guys are going to hear it in a minute, but you guys are going to hear all the cases this guy got against him, man. That's already open, let alone this child prime stuff that came up. That's just one of the flies in the ointment. I mean, he got a bunch of stuff open, right? Bunch of warrants out there. And I don't know how he kept his stuff all hidden from Shirley. Or maybe Shirley knew and was like, F it, so what, right? Who knows? But the point is, why would you marry somebody that had all this stuff going on? See, you got to do an internal investigation. Just because Steve said, I put my seal of approval on this dude. You can't put your seal of approval on nobody. You can introduce them and say, hey, check this dude out. But if it was my friend, you think I would send Sister Annie somebody like that? I would have checked that dude out before I even introduced him. Yeah, you cool and all that, man. I ain't gonna hold your past against you, but not one of my friends. No, you're not. No. You got it. No, I hear you, partner, but man, either you're gonna have to take some time to show us that you're not in that lifestyle no more, or bon voyage, right? Man, I mean, anyway, man, so let's get back to the happier times, man. This is Shirley's getting proposed to. This is about 8 years ago. I think they got married in 2015. So let's
Shirley Strawberry.
Happy birthday and congratulations, Shirley Strawberry is engaged.
Yes, live on the radio.
We consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida, multiple times actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well, about her boss's house in Abu Dhabi, which is, of course, quite far away from here.
He's considered dangerous. There are several pending warrants that will be coming out that, based on their content alone, there's a great likelihood that he's someone who commit further felonies. Furthermore, without mentioning the facts of the case in front of us, children were involved.
Is there a reason for that, Your Honor? I apologize for the delay.
Following instructions.
Bullshit.
Oh, see you later, Miss Ferguson. Goodbye. Appreciate that. Don't let Miss Ferguson back in.
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
That's okay. Yep. All right.
Thank you
Best
for
of
your
luck to you, sir.
consideration.
So we'll
Have a
count
great
out the
day.
days that'll be put in place on the 91st day. All right.
Very well. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right. Ernest Williams. Don't let that lady back in. Ernest Williams, wave your hand.
I heard you, judges.
All right, so that is Shirley Strawberry's husband. He is in court, and this is a bond hearing for him to see if he can get bond. And I think he's gonna get bond, but he's got a whole bunch of conditions, right? Got a whole bunch of conditions. All right, so let's finish up.
All right, here we go. It's position. It's those four cases, I think, for Mr. Williams. Position 2 is 22 CP 210-500, 355 days without indictment. There's a $15,000 bond as of 10/31/22 for theft by deception. Let's see, 22 CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment. $75,000 good bond as of December the 31st, 2022, with 3 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. Position 4 is 22 CP 212559, 355 days without indictment, with 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony, and there is a $20,000 split bond as of 10/17/2022. Position 5, 355 days without indictment, 23 CP 215407. I'm assuming you want me to waive, Mr. Lewis?
Sure.
All right, I can say it if you want me to, or do you want me to waive?
I don't think Ms. Williams cares. Well, yeah, wait, Judge.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 other felonies on there that have to do with the nudity, let's say. No bond as
5 other felonies. 5 other felonies. And that's in the CP case. And we're gonna find out. This dude's got warrants in California. I think in Vegas. I mean, whew. This brother's been a busy young man, right? He's been busy, right? And in between all that time, he robbed the bank. He did a bunch of other stuff. And this is the stuff he got caught doing. As my mother would say. This is the stuff he got caught doing. We don't even know how deep the rabbit hole goes, right? and as for Zoom, Vaughn, I think you can have as many as can fit in there. If you pay for the service, I think you can have as many as can fit in there. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Somebody could look that up. But I'm thinking for Zoom, if you pay for the service, kind of like WebEx, you can have at least 100 people, maybe even 1,000. I'm not sure. But don't quote me on that. Go look it up for yourself. I'm not sure. All right, y'all. Up here in the corner, you can see this is Shirley Strawberry's husband, and he is at a bond hearing. They're trying to see if they're going to give him the bond. They're eventually going to give him the bond, but they're going to say that he can't be in touch with Shirley Strawberry or any of these people, and it's an ugly situation, man. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think? Well, let me. I should have threw some links out there, man. I should have threw some links out there, man. I should have threw some links out there, ladies and gentlemen. But I forgot. So, but anyway, yeah, what do you think? What do you think should happen? And why isn't Shirley addressing this on the Steve Harvey Morning Show? Right? She's been giving bad advice to people for all these years. See, this is why I'm always telling y'all, man. That's why I tell y'all, I mean, you got to watch who you listen to. You got to watch who you listen to, because if you don't, man, this is the kind of stuff that happens. This is the kind of stuff that happens, man. Well, Sim said, "Why? See, here's the thing. Why is he getting a bond? Is he not guilty of nothing? No, he's not guilty yet, Sim. He's just, they're getting ready to charge him, right? He's not guilty of anything yet. They're getting ready to indict him. So they just put him off the streets on a punk charge to just on one of the charges, and they doing their investigation. I don't know how they got to his house. Apparently he had some pictures on his computer or whatnot or something, or maybe he was communicating with somebody, some minors or something. I don't know exactly what he was doing. What it sounded like to me was pimping. It sounded like to me he was getting ready to, him and this not Shirley Strawberry, but this other sister. They was getting ready to start pimping these young girls. And so that's what it looked like to me. Right? So, but anyway, he put himself in a situation. South Sister Enya, glad to have you in the building. He put himself in a situation where he put everybody in a situation. Right? He put everybody that's around him in this situation, right? I don't wish this on Shirley, right? Who wants to have a person coming through that's going to who wants a person that's got CP issues, right? Who wants that, right? I mean, shoot, nobody wants that, right? You don't want CP issues, man. You want nobody with no CP issues. Wait a minute. Let me see something real quick here. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. You don't want nobody with no CP issues? I don't wish this on Shirley Strawberry at all. I hope that now she'll see, maybe I need to think about the advice I'm giving other people, because I'm so quick to give this bad advice. And now you need some advice. You need to really see if you love this man. If you love him, okay, best thing you could do for him is get him some help. You're not going to walk this dude off the sledge. He has to want to do it for himself. Now, I believe, did he really want to marry her? I don't know. I don't know if he wanted to marry her. It's obviously he may have wanted to marry her, but his desires were so strong to do this garbage that he couldn't stop himself. He couldn't stop. But the question is, why did Shirley hang in there? I mean, if you didn't get the man no help, why did you hang in there? Should have got him some help, right? Should have got the man some help. You see, he got a problem. Should have got him some help, right? I mean, you know, ain't nothing wrong with trying to. You right, Sim, more trafficking. You ain't nothing wrong hanging in there with your spouse, right? That's what you're supposed to do. That's what marriage vows is for better, for worse, sickness and health, good times and bad times, right? It's a very bad time, right? Very bad time. Husband number 3, I think this is our third husband. It's definitely not the first one, but yeah, it is the husband number 3, right? Because it was the first husband. Then it was Daryl Strawberry. I mean, not Daryl Strawberry. I think Michael Strawberry. And then now this dude. This is number 3. Yeah, it was Michael Strawberry. That's how she got the Strawberry name. It's from the second husband, right? And she kept it because it was so popular. And so, yeah, I believe that's the order. That's the order. Okay, so anyway. Shout to Lady Navoa. Glad to have you in the building, my sister. What do y'all think? What do y'all think should happen? Man, matter of fact, let me put the link out there. Man. Let me put the link out there. What do you think should happen? Do you think that Shirley should stick with this man? Do you think Shirley should hang in there? Right? Let's hear a little more.
As of January the 13th, 2023. Freak trial.
In regards to Mr. Williams, still other open cases, 22 SC 18443, theft by taking, theft by deception, 22 SC 184-402, theft of services, deposit account fraud. Both of those are assigned to Judge Edwards. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
All right, Judge. You mentioned all the days on Mr. Williams. So I don't find it to be a good use of anybody's time to go back through all of that. I believe Mr. Williams, my client, is now 59 years old. When I believe when this case first began, he was 58 years of age. Judge, he was born in Augusta, Georgia. He has lived in the Atlanta area since 1994. From 2015 to 2019, he lived in California. He got married in 2015, Judge. He is the father of 6 kids and 4 grandchildren, some of them in the state of Georgia. His oldest granddaughter is a student at Georgia State University. Judge, he has owned grooming parlors, some barbershops, both in Peachtree and Far Road, as well as in Sandy Springs. He sold some businesses, some land to the city of Atlanta in 2016 from those first sets of business. In 2021, he opened a new location, Nesto's Grooming, which tears down from the old location. That business has been dissolved partially because of what is going on today with him sitting in. So in other words, he's losing money from his businesses from being in here. And that has been testified also to by one of the law enforcement officers from Roswell. He had owned an unarmed security service. Ernesto
Thank you. Thank you, Vaughn. I'm like, I'm talking. I'm talking to you, Lady DeVore. But anyway, Lady DeVore, this is Shirley Strawberry's husband. By the way, thank you, Patrice. Glad to have you in the building, Patrice. Patrice sent me this story on Shirley Strawberry's husband getting arrested for child porn. So Shirley Strawberry's out here giving all this relationship and dating advice, right? Okay, the question is, what's Shirley gonna do now? Her husband has gotten caught up in some child porn charges, right? What is she going to do? Right? What advice would you give her? What advice would you give her? You could give Shirley some advice. Would you tell her to hold on? Lady will say, what? Wait, what? Yeah, Shirley Strawberry, the producer and co-host of Steve Harvey Morning Show. This is her husband right here. Her husband of the last 8 years has been caught up in some child porn, got some child porn charges, among other things that he got going on. He caught some child porn charges, right? It's an ugly situation, man. Ugly situation. Shout out to New Growth, by the way. Glad to have you in the building, my brother. As always, glad to see you in the building. So now the question is, hey, what, but it's bigger than that. The question, see, this is why I always tell y'all, you got to qualify the people that's giving you this relationship advice, this marriage advice, because some of these people like Steve Harvey introduced these two. He introduced this girl to Shirley Strawberry to this man. He introduced them. He walked Shirley down the aisle to marry this dude. So obviously Steve meant well. Sometimes people mean well, and they send you to the gallows because they meant well. They mean well. And they can walk you off the plank because they mean well. And see, how do they walk you off the plank? They can't walk you off the plank without your cooperation, but because you like them, you don't question them because you don't want to seem disrespectful, right? What they say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Man, you be all anytime you get something for free, you should be all up in it. Find out, why would you want to give me something? Why would you want to give me something? Right? Why? Right? I was in a relationship, man, when I was young. I was in a relationship with this girl, man. She used to dog me, man. She used to dog me. And I used to be like, man, why does she even want to? She act like she can't stand me, but she's always calling me to come through. But the reason why she called me to come through is because she knew I was really attracted to her. I was trying to put up with a bunch of her nonsense, thinking that at some point she was going to get over herself and start acting right? Of course, that never happened. But the point was, whenever I would get frustrated with something, and I would say, man, you know what? We probably just need to. She would always try to cool my heels and say, oh, no, and try to and reel me back in, right? She always reeled me back in. So finally, the last time this happened, she said, because I was like not returning her calls and not really, and she said, hey, I want to talk. Finally caught me. I said, hey, we talking about the 80s, y'all. You know, if you ain't at home, you missed the call. You won't get the call, right? It's before pagers. So, you know, if you ain't at home, you out, you gone. Or you don't call, or you tell your mama, if so-and-so call, I ain't here, right? You tell everybody I ain't here, right? So finally she caught me one day, man. My mom was like, hey, man, I don't want to lie for you no more here, right? So I talked to the girl, man. I was like, hey, what's going on? She like, hey, where you been? I ain't heard from you. I said, well, I just been, you know, kind of busy with school and work and everything. So she said, hey, she said, you sound like you a little upset. I said, yeah, I just, I'm just going through some things and I need some time to think about it, right? So she goes, well, hey, are you mad at me? I said, well, I'm not really mad at you. I'm just not enjoying the time that I'm spending with you. And I can't figure out why, right? So I'm trying to think it over. So she was like, we need to talk, right? And I was like, why? I remember. Man, I was like, why do we need to talk? She said, we need to talk because I want to work things out. I said, why do you want to work things out? You got everything in this situation. You got me who's always all over you, and I'm trying to make this thing work even when you don't. Why would you want to talk? Why would you want anything to change? Oh, Clarence, you're just over dramatic. I said, oh, okay. I said, but I tell you what, why don't you let me know, why you want, because I was like, why you want to talk? Because I want things to be better. I said, but why? Why? How much better can it get for you? Right? She didn't have to do nothing. I was the one trying to make the relationship work, right? I was carrying not only my load, but her load too, right? When she would be mad at me for stuff that wasn't even my fault, and I would be okay with that. You know what I mean? Just because I'll say, man, if I just endure this, then the relationship gonna get better, right? That is a lie from the pits of hell, right? So, man, I just snapped. I said, man, why? What do you want? I mean, why would you want? When I'm around, you act like I'm such a burden to deal with. Why do you want me? Why do you want to make this work? I don't understand that. Oh my God, you just making it so difficult. I said, okay, I'll tell you what you do. I said, you call me when you can remember why you want this thing to go back together. Hey, I'm still waiting for that call, y'all. I'm still waiting for that call. But what's the point? What's the point? See, I don't just take no, you can't, in relationships, man, you can't just take people's word. You can't just take their word. Then the voice say, okay, gotta go moderate now on BNU Learning Moment with Dr. Nakumbi and Coach K. All right, right on. Right on, Letting Voice. Good to see you, and enjoy yourself over there. Sip says, as long as she's with a guy like that, I'm assuming she didn't respect herself, and I can't take her or her words seriously. They both need help. Steve need to apologize to her for that hookup. Yeah, man. Yeah. But see, here's the thing, Sim. You can never 100% endorse somebody. You can't endorse them. I don't care if they're your best friend. You don't know what they're doing when they're not in your presence. You don't know how they get down because they keep an image in front of you. We keep images in front of each other because I want you to think that I'm a good person all the time. So I'm going to keep this image up in front of me that I never lose, right? And you're gonna do the same thing, and everybody else gonna do the same thing, right? So we don't really, most of us don't really tell the full story, right? That's why I don't endorse people. I just say, hey, this is so, but check them out for yourself, right? Check them out for yourself, right? I remember my wife's cousin. My wife's cousin was going out with this dude that played basketball with me, and he mentioned me, you know, in past, some kind of way I got mentioned in this situation, and I especially used to play with his younger brother, and so this dude was you know, in retrospect, the girl, my wife's cousin, they just happened to hook up together, right? My wife's cousin came to me and said, "Hey, do you know this cat?" I said, "Yeah, I know that cat, man. We used to play basketball together in the street, and you know, he used to play for high school. I used to play for high school. We used to, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we know each other. We remember each other from the streets, right?" So she said, "Well, what kind of guy you think he is?" I said, "I mean, I don't really know him like that." I said, "But, you know, I guess he's a cool dude. I guess. I don't know." I said, "I guess he's all right dude, as far as I know, right?" You know, that dude dogged my wife's cousin, dogged her, right? And my wife held that against me for a couple of years, right? Like, man, remember that dude you introduced, you know, so-and-so to? Man, he was trash. I said, yo, I never said he was a good dude. I said, as far as I know, he was. But she got to check it out for herself, right? That's why body counts are important. Claire, body counts ain't important. Body counts don't matter, Clarence. It don't matter. Yes, it do. Yes, it do. Anything about a person's previous lifestyle matters, right? That matters. Why? Because if they have some type of issue that's really outrageous, right? You need to know how they got it like that, and then are they still of the same mentality? Negro said, yeah, and you was tricking. Yeah, oh man, I was tricking, man. I was tricking. I was a sucker with a capital S, man. I just found this girl so attractive, New Growth. And she wasn't even that attractive. That's the thing, man. She wasn't even that attractive. But I thought she was attractive, right? I was fixated on her, and I thought she was very attractive. But in reality, she wasn't even that attractive, man. She wasn't even that attractive. But because she wasn't, you know, she didn't use, you know, with me, she was like a person that really was like, I was just sort of like something to do when more advanced people wasn't around, right? When there wasn't nobody else around, but I was so into her, I think she enjoyed that, right? That I was willing to put up with her and her nonsense, right? Her just go from a good mood into a just ridiculously upset for nothing. And I used to be like, what the hell is wrong with this chick? I'm doing everything I can. I bring her roses, I bring her flowers, I bring her candy, I try to do help her with whatever issue she got, right? The nicer I am, the worse she act, right? I was like, what's going on? This don't make sense to me, right? Nugo said, attraction is always deeper than looks. I'm telling you. Yeah, I had to find that out. Now, I was only, maybe 17 or 18, something like that, man. I was very young at the time. But the whole point is, I had to learn, man, it's more to a person than just their looks, their physical appearance. But, I mean, she wasn't even really, if you really, like, look at it, I think most guys wouldn't say she was that attractive or overly attractive. She was not. I just, in my head, she was attractive because for whatever reason, I don't know what she had going on that made me say, man, I gotta have her, right? but I was young. Now I'm older. If I was in that situation now, see now, my patience is so short. And it's not, I don't like you. I'm not going to put myself in a position where there's going to be drama. I'm just not doing it. I don't, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to relationships, I'm just not doing it. Business relationships, I'm just not doing it. It's not worth it to try to be in business with somebody or be in a situation with somebody where you committed to them and they're not just as committed to you. Nah, man. But I had to learn that one the hard way, man. Vaughn said, we always judge the book by its cover instead of opening it up and reading it. Yeah, I didn't know no better at that time, Vaughn. So I didn't know any better. I thought, wow, man, she's a nice person. I thought, like most of us as men, right? We think all women are nurturers. All women are feminine. All women want to see you happy, like your mama, right? Your mama wanted you to be happy, right? So you think all women are like your mama. They want to make a man happy. I had to find out every woman ain't like that, right? As a matter of fact, a lot of women are like this, man. Oh, this gonna make you happy? I'll make sure I'm not gonna do it then. They got so much rebelliousness in them, right? Just like Eve, right? They got so much rebelliousness in them that if they know that something's gonna make you happy, they're gonna make sure that they don't do it, or they don't do it the way you want it, or some kind of way, right? Oh man. Anyway, y'all, what do y'all think? What do y'all think, man? Should Shirley stay with her husband? Let's listen to a little more, and then we're gonna move on because we gotta talk about the teenage boy that shot the man for his mama. That is an ugly situation as well. All right, let's get to it.
Elite security company, where he had a number of 1099 persons working for him. Judge, my client has a number of felonies in his past. Those felonies go all the way back to the 80s. He's got he's got one in 2008, which looks like it is a merger, meaning when they're doing the sentence on one, they're doing the sentence on the other. And there is a deal, and my client decides to take the deal. His wife resides in Buckhead, and you will see, and I think that is the Buckhead community. She doesn't say Buckhead on her affidavit, but she does reside in Fulton County and in Buckhead. Judge,
yes, Vaughn, this is his
history, lawyer. There's nothing in the last 10 years. He's never been in one of these cases accused him of attempting to pass somebody off as a lawyer. His co-defendant in that case has a consent signature bond that has been signed off on. I believe Mr. Majeski can tell you more about that when he gets to it. He has never himself been involved or accused or convicted of anything that involves a person passing themselves off as a lawyer or impersonating anybody ever in life. This last case that came about involves, if my understanding is correct, and I don't know because I haven't received discovery on it since it hasn't been indicted, a single photograph that was found on a computer that the prosecution, well, not even the prosecution at this point, I guess it's still the police because it's not indicted or accused, claimed was my client's, and that he was in possession of either the computer or the photograph that's on there. My client has never been accused of anything involving nudity or anything else with children. He has been convicted of things like armed robbery in his past, and that occurred in Cobb County. I believe he was sentenced to 5 years back then on that. Bank fraud when he came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene. That's his federal case. So that's the kind of stuff my client has been convicted of in his past. And so far, nothing else has happened on these cases. The oldest you've quoted the dates on, the youngest you've quoted the dates on, all of those dates are beyond the 90 days, some of them beyond 180 days. So what I'm asking for, Judge, is on every last one of these cases, if and where you can, that you enter in a unsecured judicial release that mirrors his co-defendant on one case that she has with him that was consented to, and on another case where there's 14 counts where she engages or is alleged to have engaged in similar behavior as to what she is accused of in this case. On the rest of them, Judge, I'm asking for a UJR, but in no instance.
All right, I think you guys get the point. He is now in this clip, they're gonna mention Shirley Strawberry. They're gonna mention he can't have contact with Shirley. He can't have contact with the daughters. He can't have contact with the girlfriend in Florida. He can't have contact with oh yeah, he got a girlfriend. Did I go over that? Did I mention that he got the girlfriend in Florida? This knucklehead, and you would think somebody like this who has spent so much time in the prison system, in the penal system, would have known that they record your conversations, right? Every time you pick up that phone and everything is recorded, right? They recorded this dude trying to set up, they feel he's a flight risk, right? Because he wanted to go to Abu Dhabi, right? Well, who has a house in Abu Dhabi? Steve Harvey has a house in Abu Dhabi. Who lives in that house in Abu Dhabi? Winston lives, the little boy I was telling you about. I remember him from when I used to go up there and check equipment up there in Mountain Gate back in the day, right? I used to be all over LA, man. I worked in West LA, the Valley, the harbor, and then I worked in Metro LA as well. I've been all over, man. I done seen, $20 million properties, man, where you literally need one of those golf carts to go from the front of the property to the back of the property, right? Because it's so far. It's some of the stuff is sitting on like a half an acre or an acre of land, right? And then I've been to the bottoms, right? I've been to down here in Watts, down here in Avalon Gardens, the Pueblos, down here, man, where people just having it bad, man. It's nothing but courtyards. And I'm saying these little 1-bedroom houses in these little courtyards, right? And it's a bad situation, man. So I've been all over Los Angeles, man. Seen a bunch of different stuff, man. Back when they had Jordan Downs, now they done tore Jordan Downs down, most of it anyway. And they put some new places down there. Now they got new shopping centers, everything. They what do you call that? Gentrifying it, right? Right. But the point is, I've been to a lot of different places, right? So one of the places I've been to is up there in Mountain Gate, right, where they used to live. And Master P used to live up there. A lot of black celebrities used to live up there. I don't know if they still live up there anymore because they got me working in Metro LA now. But back then, when I was working out in West LA, it was one of the exclusive communities up there. It's called Mountain Gate. Master P and Dave Justice, when he was married to Halle Berry, was up in there. Who else was up in there? There's a bunch of athletes, stars, that lived up in there, right? Including Steve Harvey. I think so. It was another person that lived up there too, another black person that I can't remember. We're talking about the mid 90s, man, maybe early 2000s. But anyway, so but I remember Winston was a little boy then. He was married to that other chick that they said was crazy. Now Winston lives in Abu Dhabi, right? Well, this is where the husband wants to go. Shirley's husband wanted to go to her boss's place in Abu Dhabi, right? Well, her boss is Steve Harvey, right? So all this stuff is documented, y'all. Y'all can go back and look at it. I'll put the link to the full video here, man. You guys can go back and check out the whole video where he just says the whole thing, man. I mean, they discuss Shirley. They discuss, whether they don't want him to be a flight, so he got to turn in his passport. all this stuff, man, because they think he's a flight risk. He can't go visit his girlfriend in Florida. I don't know if Shirley knew he got a girlfriend in Florida, but I'm sure she knows now, right? But the thing about it is, you don't hear her addressing it. You don't hear her addressing the situation, and that's, I guess, I mean, you know, the people that the fans of the show giving her a pass, right? They're saying, hey, now all this time we've been telling you all our problems, but you don't have to share your problem, right? Whatever. Never take advice from somebody, man, that's not qualified, man. Never, man. YouTube is the only place I see that happening, man. YouTube is the only place I see that happening. By the way, man, let me do this, man. Shout out to Arshawn. He finished the conversation about the penis strike. Shout out to Arshawn, man. Thank you for doing that, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Critically Drinking. Everybody go over to Critically Drinking and check out Critically Drinking, man. Man, yeah, man. Arshawn finished my discussion for me. I just wanted to see what they thought about the situation, right? I wonder if they was gonna think like me and say, hey, man, a strike is a strike is a strike. And the strike is just somebody, it's one group that has that has something of value that the other group needs to make this thing work, right? And they're willing to pull that value off the table and hurt the profits of, hurt the other group as well as hurting themselves to make this happen, right? To get the attention of the other group, right? Because sometimes you want to talk to people, man, and they don't want to come to the table, right? Oh, but Clarence, you can just do this or that. You can get anybody to come to the table. Now, my premise was that you've done all those things and they're not coming to the table. So what are you supposed to do at that point? That was my premise. My premise was you've already talked, you've already asked them to come to the table, you already asked them to come, you already done all these different things. So the only thing left on the table is a show of resistance. That's pretty much all that's left on the table. What do you do? So I don't know if they agree with me. Sound like they agreed with Vaughn. I think they agreed with Vaughn. They said, nah, you shouldn't use sex to manipulate, but that was never my premise, to using the sex to manipulate. My premise was that you're just trying to get somebody to come to the table and talk. Just like the nurses, right? The nurses threaten to let people die and let people get sick and not care for them, right? They threaten to do that, right? But it's okay because they nurses, right? Some kind of way it's a different situation. To me, it's not. It's the same situation to me. One group wants to come back to the table, right? And they tried everything else. They tried everything to renegotiate the situation, and the other side will not come to the table. Okay, now we got a strike. Anyway, they agree with Vaughn, so, and that's okay. That's cool. I just thought, man, yeah, I don't see how y'all see it different. But anyway, that's how they see it. That's how I see it, man. Thanks to Arshawn and the crew for discussing it. We appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then somebody agrees with Vaughn, right? Anyway, man, shout out to that. Let me bring Patrice up there. I think Patrice might have something to say about the situation. Let me bring her up. Patrice. Oh, Lord. Patrice. Maybe Patrice is out there cooking the oxtails. Who knows? Patrice. Patrice, you got to turn your microphone on, Patrice. Lord have mercy. See, I know you want to talk about this situation, so I want to lead this up. So come on, Patrice. Maybe you got to cut out and cut back in because we can't hear you. You might be talking, but we can't hear you. We definitely cannot hear you. Patrice. Or maybe Patrice is she might be in Costco or something, right? Right. Give me the biggest pack of oxtails y'all got. Right. Give me the biggest pack of oxtails. By the way, sister, the Black Power meeting is tonight. The Black Power meeting is tonight. We need to get it going. We need to get it on, right? I don't know, Patrice. Patrice, you got to pop back in. Maybe she's driving. Maybe she just got off work and she's driving. She said, man, Clarence, I'm trying to check in. Anyway, we're going to move on. 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 Going once. Anybody got anything to say about this situation? Patrice. 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 Is it me? Is it me, y'all? I can't hear. I can't hear. Is it just me, y'all? Patrice? Oh, Lord. Patrice went to casino to have to get another bite of the sip of the bubbly. She's in the casino. She's sitting by one of them one-armed bandits, right? Clarence, I came in here just for you. Ding, 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 ding. Vaughn Bryant, what's going on with you, man?
What's going on, man? What's happening?
Oh, I didn't know if you was going to be like Patrice and be like, man, glad to have you up here, brother.
Oh, no. Well, it's always an honor, my brother. You know, I just wanted to make sure that the coast was clear. You know, I didn't want to, step up here and
clear, man. It's always clear. I don't know.
I know.
Man,
I'm just messing with you.
I know. I'm just saying, but my haters don't come here. See, most of the time when people have haters, they come there and they troll them and stuff. But we got such a strong such a strong group in the chat, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got an all-star group in the chat. So
yeah,
they don't come over here, man. Yeah. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. You know, little rough day at the office. Let me say that.
Oh,
but was able to get some stuff done.
Okay,
very productive day. It's a very productive day.
Good.
So now I'm winding down.
Good. Good, man.
Yeah.
Good. Well, what do you think, man? What do you think about Shirley Strawberry, man? What do you think about that?
Wow, that's crazy, man. That the whole story is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she had no inkling of this type of activity, right?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure she did not.
So I feel kind of bad for her in a way because I'm not sure if there were some red flags that she didn't observe. Or,
I'm sure there was some red flags.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big part in how we end up in these situations is because we ignore, red flags.
Correct.
And but man, what a hard thing to go through, when you're so excited about something like she was when the brother was proposing to her. You see what I'm saying? And you think that, life is going to be hunky-dory.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all of these things come out and, that's why, listen, it's very important to take your time.
Yeah.
Don't just rush into things because, it looks good, it smells good, it sounds good. That we make a lot of mistakes that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to do some investigation.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you really need to do a credit report and a criminal report. You need to do criminal report and, credit report. Let's see what's really going on.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But now my question is this. Was this brother accused? I mean, was he convicted of any of these accusations?
No, Vaughn, they were investigating. I think they first charged him in January. And I don't know if he's been sitting in jail since then, but I think they first charged him in January. Then they rearrested him again because they found more evidence in June, I believe. And so Now they're waiting to take him to court. They actually want to take him to court. And so but he's trying to see if he can get out on a bond. Right. So, yeah, I believe it's deep. It's way deeper than his lawyer's trying to make it out to be. It's way deeper than that.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. You know, I used to listen to Steve Harvey and, Shirley, with their Strawberry Letter and all of that.
Yeah.
A little while back when I was, going to work and stuff before I retired, I would hear, some of the little stories and advice that they would give. Some of it was on, but a lot of it was like, I don't know if I could rock with that. But to each his own.
Nicer than me, Vaughn.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but yeah, and I would listen to it. And then, even with Steve Harvey, I'm a little indifferent about some of his advice at times,
Right.
Yeah, because he's from the old school and we have a lot in common. So some of the things he says I identify with, but then, but then he'll throw some of that other stuff in there. And I'm just like, I don't know, my brother. I don't know.
See, I think he's good with business advice. Right. He has great business. He has a great business acumen. Right. And that's good.
He definitely has a great work ethic.
Exactly.
For sure.
That does not translate into relationship advice. And he thinks it does. Right. He's the same. This is the same guy that said, all women should wait 90 days before they have a sexual relationship with a man. You should make a man wait for 90 days.
Oh, so it's the 3-month rule, right?
Right. It was a 90-day rule, right?
Well, but are you saying it should be shorter, Brother Clarence?
No. What I'm saying is it should depend on an investigation, because it might be longer. It might need to be longer. Right.
Exactly.
So it just depends on the investigation that you're willing to do. The more you investigate and the quicker that the trust is built up, based on you able to investigate, right? For example, if somebody was dating me, right? Let's say Sister Annie was dating, right? And Sister Annie said, you know what, brother, I had an issue with another brother I was dating, man. He had some criminal issues that was up. Would you mind if I checked your criminal background? Because I'm really getting serious. I want to be with you, but I want to know, is there anything that in your past, do you want to tell me about it? Because I definitely, not that I'm going to dismiss you right away, but if there's something there that's very serious or something that's ongoing, I would need to know about it. Would you mind if I did that? Now, she asked me, would I mind? And I say, yeah, I mind. Uh-oh, that might be a problem, right? That might be a problem. But if I say, nah, girl, I ain't got nothing to hide, go ahead, check it out. You know what I mean? Here's my information, go check me out, see what you see, right?
Wow.
And she go check it out. She see, hey, Clarence, you know what, you got caught with this embezzlement back in 1996 or whatever. Yeah, I was young, I was doing this and that, I was but see, that's important, right? To make sure that the person's mentality is not the same, right? Even though they might have these charges, the mentality is not the same, right?
Exactly.
That's important.
I mean, don't you think it's important to be as honest as you can?
Yes.
In this whole beginning phase of getting to know each other. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we put on facades and we try to portray ourselves, as something other than what we actually are. You know what I'm saying? And I think if we would just take that honest approach and be, if you're serious about an individual, you should be as transparent as you possibly can, because that's what's going to let them know whether they want to continue with you or not. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But that's the problem, Vaughn. That's the problem. When you meet somebody, they're so nice and they're sweet, everything, right? I'm going out with Sister Annie, and I say, hey, sis, let me take you out. And I put her in the car and everything. She's so nice and sweet and everything. About 5 months in, she like, I don't need you though. I don't need you to open my door, Clarence. Get away from me. I can do it myself. I don't need no man. I can do it myself, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, but I'm just, but see, in the beginning, it's always we always put our best foot forward. And as we get comfortable, that's when we and then most people that have these issues that have broken up relationships before, they know to hide them, right? They don't go work on them, they hide them. They hide the fact that they got mania, right? They manic depressive or they bipolar or something like that. They hide this stuff. So you don't know, right? They know what kind of words and ways to act. So you think they're normal, right? You think they have when I say normal, I mean they can handle different situations without going wacky, right? But you don't know until you get in the soup with them. And then you're like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, what's going on, man? But yeah, man, that's the thing. See, we lie in the beginning, right? I don't know what I'm gonna do with this girl, man. This girl right here, man. Man.
It looks like Patrice is trying to come up, right?
Yeah, man, but she's driving through the mountains, right? She says she's driving through the mountains. I don't know.
I hope she ain't at the casino again, man.
That's probably where she at, bro.
We're gonna have a problem. If I hear cling, 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 cling.
She's either at the casino or she at Costco getting them super heavy duty pack of oxtails, right? Give me a super duper pack of oxtails, y'all. Get them off the shelf.
And she can hear us, and she can hear us all the while, but she can't say anything. So we're gonna get in trouble in a minute, Brother Clarence. We're gonna get in trouble in a minute.
Miss Patrice, we gotta go get the forklift for those. I don't care. Go get the forklift and get that super pack of oxtails off the top of the shelf.
Oh man.
Oh, she here now. Patrice?
Hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I am driving through the mountain. I'm actually on my way to rehearsal, not no darn casino. So stop saying that.
I'm messing with you, Patrice.
Vaughn,
Listen.
Stop talking about Patrice, Vaughn.
I'm still shell shocked from all of that. Cling, 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 cling. I keep hearing it in my ear,
Talking about Patrice like that, man. What's wrong with you,
How
Vaughn?
y'all doing, my brothers?
Hey, that's my sister forever, right?
We are fine since now that we got you on the line. What's going on?
Man, this situation, right?
Oh boy.
Interesting. Boy. Very, very interesting. Is that this come out about Shirley Strawberry's husband not knowing, in depth the things that we are now finding out, about her marriage, her situation, not knowing that, Steve Harvey introduced them, so let's have the conversation like you were saying when somebody, introduce you to somebody because they think as far as, like you said, as far as I know, this person is a good person, but because we are not with people 24/7, we really genuinely don't know what people will do, undercover, behind the scenes or whatever. And I'm pretty sure Steve Harvey absolutely, did not know dude was doing this. Thought he probably was a good dude that he was hooking her up with, whatever, right? Because it's my understanding that prior to that, she was married to Daryl Strawberry's brother, Michael Strawberry. So that's where her name, the Strawberry comes from. And it actually really is a cool name too, especially for the line of business that she's in. But just wondering, I'm not sure if she's spoken and on this situation. I know she's she's a very private person, right? And as much as they feel tea and read tea about other people's lives, when it comes to their situations, they get quiet as a church mouse, right?
Yeah.
I find it very interesting, but these are very serious charges, you know what I mean? Not saying that, people can't change from, crimes and things they've done in the past, but he has a long track record. But this one right here is the one that is catapulting everything else and topping everything else that he ever done years ago in his past, and it's unfortunate that as a woman of, her stature and in the public eye have to have this type of embarrassment. And it trickles down, not just for her and her private life, but for Steve, you know, because like you said, the fact that he's on the phone trying to, you know, escape to one of Steve's properties in Dubai, trying to even escape, you know, having a conversation, trying to escape to Florida to the side chick's house. I mean, it's just residence. And like you said, now wonder do Shirley know that?
She
you know,
do
like
now.
you said, she do now. Exactly. So wondering how long that they dated, how long did she vet him before they got married? See, these are some things like, you know, questioning that come to play, because how well do you really know someone?
Yes.
We've seen couples married for 10, 15, 20 years, and then the spouse turn around, you know, doing an ugly divorce and put a hit out on them for the insurance money. Now, we done seen it all, but these are people that love each other, had children together. So listen, people change. People, you know, money, influence, different things of that nature make people do the strangest things. But it's just very interesting and trying as to how her PR people are going to try to spin this.
Yeah, I would. Well, Patrice, what would you, if you was able to sit her down and talk to her for about 15 minutes, what advice would you give her? And she said, Patrice, can you tell me, what should I do? What should I do from here? Where should I go from here? What would you say to her? Patrice?
Oh God, I think I went out again.
I can hear you now.
Okay. This kind of reminds me of the situation of Wendy Williams, right? A person that spills the tea and the dirt on all of the celebrities and people, and then when her own dirt came out, you know, she was in denial about it. She covered it up, and you know, and it's funny, they do that as long as they can. But any advice that I would give Shirley, as much as she reading other people's strawberry letters and tea about their love life and situation, she needs to just come clean about her own. She's a woman that you know, is married, whose husband is charged with a heinous crime, and also has been found now to be, you know, cheating on her, infidelity. Address those issues as a woman, you know, and be open and honest on your open, honest public platform on the radio. I think that, to me, the best approach PR wise would be, you know what I mean? Because people and so many women that have went through similar things or going through similar things, you know, with their spouses or whatever, and thinking you know someone and you love this person, you married this person, and now you find out that this person has been charged with something so heinous. But you have to be honest. You have to be open about it, because it's public record. You know, and people are going to be paying attention to, you know, how she's going to move, how she's going to, you know, talk about it or not talk about it. You know, I understand people are very private in their private lives, but she has a very public platform, and you are on an international radio station. You know what I mean? So are you going to be human, as you know, and try to be relatable to your fans and your followers? Or are you just going to try to sweep it under the rug and make it go away like a lot of them do? Because that's where a lot of
I vote for the sweeping.
You know, that's where, and that, because they got PR people that work on their behalf, you know, to try to cover it up and things of that nature. Because they try not to mention her name, you know, doing the discovery and the deposition, but it's out. The cat is out in the bag, and they done mention names and her name and her daughter's name and all of that now. So, to me, the best way to approach it is just to be open and honest about it as a woman, because I can't even imagine what she must be feeling or going through, the frustration, the embarrassment. Just say that. It's embarrassing. You know, you hurt, you angry, you all these things, whatever she's feeling. I think she needs to be honest and open about it, just the way she's giving other people advice and saying, I'm seeking advice from professionals. Even though this is my private life, it has now been made public. I got to be honest and open and just allow me time to deal with it accordingly. But I got to be open and honest as to my emotions and my feelings as a woman and what I'm going through.
Well, perhaps she'll write a letter, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what Negro said, right?
Yeah, perhaps she'll write a letter.
He'll write a letter from the jailhouse.
Well, listen, sometimes you may not want to speak publicly about it, but you just want to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that would be easier for her to confront the issue.
Yeah, and
I don't know if she'll probably get up and address it publicly. I'm not sure.
She will not.
Well, if she do by way of letter, it's going to go something like, I know you guys have realized that, the latest blah, 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 but I ask that all you guys please respect my family's privacy during this time. That's what it's going to be.
Patrice, you crazy. She ain't going to address it in the least. Not in the slightest. She is never going to address it publicly.
Well, listen, it's a very embarrassing thing, and it's really not her fault.
And I understand
you know what
That's
I'm saying? So I can understand how difficult it would be for her to,
absolutely
try to get up publicly and speak about something that's so embarrassing. I'm pretty sure she faults herself. Why didn't I see this? Or why did I ignore this or that red flag? You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine something like that. So that, I hate for her to have to go through something like that. But if this brother's guilty of what they're accusing him of, man, he needs to be sat down somehow.
Yeah. They're gonna get him. They don't hold you like that unless it's pretty serious.
Yeah, and bro, he literally trying to get away. He's trying to leave the country. Trying to leave you do. Come on, if you're not guilty, you're gonna stay and you're gonna fight with every fiber of your being. But if you're trying to run away and risk being a flight risk, trying to go to Dubai, come on, that speaks volumes, right?
Yeah. And
okay, so I have
how most of these guys get, how most of these guys get fair charges on this CP stuff is because of the transmission over interstate lines. Right, on the internet, transmitting these pictures to each other over text message or whatever, and that brings the feds into it. So, man, if the feds come in it, now this dude has already done Fed time already. Holy smokes, they are not nicer the second time around, right? So, I mean, and plus, if you listen to the whole video, and I will put the link in the description. He's got warrants in California, and another state. He got open warrants that they just said, man, forget it. We're not gonna extradite him, but he's got other cases out there. So, what my thing is, okay, Shirley, okay, maybe the first year you don't know, the second year you don't know. Okay, the third year, fourth year, fifth year, come on now, somewhere.
And it's unfortunate, but we, in the dating scene and vetting people, I mean, we've getting to a point where you really do need to do background checks on people. Not just the interest of, I want to see if you got good credit. No, you need to do a criminal background check on these people.
Both people should listen. Both people, the male and the female, should be coming with all pertinent information. Right?
Yeah.
The closer you get to, I don't think you should come in with your credit at this point, but I think at this point, criminal stuff or outstanding stuff, issues with court. For example, I got a restraining order against my ex-wife, or whatever. You need to know that before you get involved with me, because that may bring some drama to you. To your doorstep, right?
Absolutely.
So,
and vice versa. Absolutely.
That's funny you should say that, Brother Clarence, because I remember when I was dating my wife, and that was one of the questions I asked her. I said, now you ain't got no boyfriend in jail that's getting out in 4 months, right? See what I'm saying? Because I don't want no surprises.
Yeah, man. We don't want no.
See what I'm saying?
We don't want no D-balls knocking on the door.
You see what I'm saying? Man done got out. He got out 3 months later, and see what I'm saying? Now I have to contend with that.
Yeah.
Vaughn, you
listen.
had a question. What was your question, Vaughn? Before when we saw you say I have a question. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I did. This is very interesting. The way that this whole setup is, with the incarcerated people inside of this little room, and the judge is talking. I know it's probably because of the COVID thing and all of that,
right?
Or the C-19. But I had no idea that they were doing it to this magnitude. This is my first time ever seeing this.
Oh yeah, man! This first time. Oh, they've been doing this.
The first time ever seeing
this. This is C-19. Yeah.
Absolutely. I was gonna tell bro Clarence.
And so the prisoners are not allowed to speak at all, right? It's just the attorneys and the judge.
No, they can speak. I was gonna tell bro Clarence the next court thing because that we should talk about, because brother Polight is going for a plea bargain, y'all. So that and his court and his court thing is set up just like this, before the judge and stuff like that. So his case will be interesting because I think on the 7th of July he goes to court in the state of Florida as well. So that might be interesting to pull up and talk about too, because this brother is his attorney and him are trying to cop a plea.
That's you don't cop a plea when you're innocent, right? You try to minimize the damage, but
hold on, brother Clarence. Look at remember the movie When They See Us. Those 5 brothers, that were coerced into taking a plea and all of these different things when they were in fact innocent. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, you said the magic word though, Vaughn, coerced.
Yeah, I mean, they were.
So I'm just saying, when you're coerced into it, you may be apt to say, hey, you know what? Okay, I was there. Even though you weren't there.
You're right. So let me rephrase that. Innocent people typically don't plea, right? But there are times when, like the police, especially, have done to us, but they've coerced us into taking a plea deal, telling you, and then what they do is they say, you go home today. You're gonna go home. All you gotta do is sign this paper. And then it don't happen, and then you're like, what happened? Oh, you got 50 years, or you got life, right?
Which is what happened to the young man that was actually innocent and wasn't there as a part of the Central Park 5. Remember the one that they charged as an adult? Yeah, they actually fooled him in that sense, had him thinking, oh no, you just admit, but you sign this paper, you go right on home today. He just turned 16. That's why he went to Rikers and was charged as an adult. And he wasn't even there in the park.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. That, apparently this brother has an accuser. And is there any mention as to who the accuser is or what the situation is concerning the accused?
Are you talking Shirley Strawberry's husband?
Yes, I'm talking about the allegations against him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
accused of pedo, right?
Yeah, but when children are underage, they don't release that information. They keep that very private. Just like the girl with brother Polight. I mean, she's 14 years old, so she's underage. So they're not releasing any of that information when the child is underage.
I think that chick's got to be about 16 or 17 now.
Yeah, because it happened right during COVID. So she was 14 then. So yeah, she's probably 16, maybe almost 17 now.
Yeah.
And it was the kid of one of his wives or girlfriends or whatever in his harem.
Oh my God.
That's her daughter.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Say that again, because I missed it.
Brother Polight charges against this minor was his girlfriend / polygamy wife's daughter. Yeah,
and he was in a hotel room alone with this 14-year-old girl,
and allegedly drugged her. I'm still gonna say allegedly.
Allegedly.
So yeah, allegedly.
Wow.
Right. And but he's going to take a deal.
I can't even say unbelievable because it's apparent that people are just doing this type of stuff. Crazy, man.
Well, I think in his situation, I think once he came out here to Hollywood, I think he really came to the point where he thought, hey man, I can do no wrong. You know, I can do whatever, and everybody, I got the Vulcan mind mill. I can just make everybody do what I want to do because I got this superior intellect. And he finding out now. Just like I'm not gonna, I don't want to upset anyone, but just like his mentor,
Oh yeah,
Dr. York was
Dr.
pretty
York
much the same way. So, and you see what happened to him.
with
So,
boys and girls, Dr. York.
Yeah, man, that was that, and how can you say that, Patrice? How could you say that? Because he pled guilty. He didn't even take a deal. He pled guilty, right? He pled guilty. I think he did take the deal, but the deal was he had to plead guilty, right? He had to plead guilty, and he got 135 years.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's amazing that people still support people like this, like Brother Polight. Went live on this platform. He has over 300 and some thousand subscribers. People on there, men and women. It's just unbelievable. We believe you, bro, and it's just like I don't understand people. How they support certain debauchery and effery, and I don't get that. I don't get it.
Because the people always are looking for a person to be like this ethereal person, right? The people always want, and so that's part of where kings and queens develop. Because we was given God's law. We don't need no queen. You don't need no king. You don't need we got the law. All we need is all of us be good people, and you don't need nobody to rule over.
Amazingly, it's more people standing behind him than it is the victim, and that's a shame. That's the sad part with some of us in our society, and just because we respect and rock with somebody, we will literally be down with a effery.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That and there's more people standing behind him than it is a 14-year-old victim who got to live with that for the rest of her life. And then blaming the mother and blaming the mother on top of that.
That is crazy. Well, do you think the mother has a little blame in there?
What's that?
Do you think the mother has at least a little blame in there?
Well, if the mother is with this man, right, and they've been together for a while, and he's taken her places before, so some trust must have been built up, right?
Okay.
But this particular time, he promised to take her somewhere, end up taking her to a party at a club, which she's 14 and underage. The club was closed, so then instead of
Patrice.
That right there was already questionable. Now,
wait a minute. Now, I'm thinking you talking about I'm gonna take her to the laundromat. I'm gonna take her. You talking about taking a 14-year-old girl to a party, to a club?
Yes. It's y'all. His case is. Listen, I was on his case when it first happened during COVID. His case is unbelievable. Anyway, the club was closed, so he ends up, instead of taking her home, he takes her to a motel, and he allegedly drugs her. So she wakes up all sick and groggy, and her face all swollen, messed up. She got semen all on her clothes, all on her mouth. Like, so y'all figure out. Don't look.
God.
That part. That's how deep. And to know that this brother still got supporters and subscribers, whether they in the conscious community or not, sickens my stomach to know this. That people still support that brother.
And you said, what is this brother's name again? Because I'm unaware of this individual. Brother Polight. I'm late, y'all, because I don't even know who Brother Polight is.
Polight
I would have to research that.
He's like Shirley Strawberry's husband. He's got a laundry list of different things that he has been accused of doing, and scamming people. His biggest scam that he was making money on was this status correction scam, where he was telling people he was selling status correction information. It's basically sovereign citizen type situation to people, right? But see, you can be like a sovereign citizen, but you can't only do what you can enforce, right? For example, they say, well, since I have a car and I'm not using it for commerce, then therefore I don't need a driver's license to drive a car, right? It's from the 1800s, right? It's a law from the 1800s. But every state, you have to have a driver's license in every state. But they saying no, the constitutional law or this maritime law, because it's a federal law, it supersedes the states. So, and then they say I'm not a citizen of the United States, therefore your laws don't apply to me, right? And they just have, and so he was teaching people how to do these status corrections, and they would go to court and get demolished, get destroyed, right? And so I'm just like, man, he made so much money off of that, millions of dollars he made off of that, right? Selling those status corrections, and it never worked for nobody, right? One of the people that got really turned out by him and upset by him and just was on him after that was a young Pharaoh, man, because he went and did the status correction stuff and that didn't work for him, and he just started just destroying Polight. But I think when he came out here, that's when he said, I can have any woman out, and he started getting more and more and more women, and who knows what their lifestyle is like now. So who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We need to talk about, Patrice. Let's do that. Remind me about that, Patrice.
Let's do the Polight, because like I said, I think he goes to court July the 7th in the state of Florida, because that's where the situation happened. And that's where he's locked up at. But yeah, getting back to this Shirley Strawberry situation, it's unfortunate. I feel for the sister. I can't even imagine the embarrassment, the hurt, the anguish that she's going through, the knowing that, she married this type of man, unfortunately. But it makes you think, how deep did she really vet him? And did she do a background check on him? Because of course, Steve, a man, he ain't finna do a background check on another man that he has no interest in. But introducing her to him, how much did she vet him? Did she do a background check?
No, she didn't. Obviously, she didn't. She didn't, Patrice. She just went off of his. This is what I'm saying about listening to the wrong people. She just went off his word.
Right.
He gave him the seal of approval, said, hey, this is my man, get to do the shot.
Looking at this Steve Harvey, he got to be legit.
Right.
Right. So much when we get for listening to people because they got a certain status, right? Or they a certain celebrity. Don't mean nothing.
Man,
Exactly.
And they mean well. I'm sure Steve meant well. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he meant well. I'm sure he thought, hey, the brother might have had a little skid mark here or there, but overall he felt that the brother was a good dude, right? But the brother put the wool over his eyes, right? That's why I say you got to do your own investigation. Even though somebody come and say, hey, Patrice, let me introduce you to Vaughn, but you got to check out Vaughn for yourself. At some point, you got to say, well, where you been for the last 5 years, brother? Have you been in jail? Have you had any cases or anything like that?
And listen, and if people get upset because you say that, especially once you deep into dating or relationship and you're talking about taking it to the next level, if they get offended when you ask them about a criminal past or do they have one or anything like that, if they get offended or upset by that, I'm side-eyeing that anyway. Like, okay, because if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to hide, right?
Yeah, we all did something. We all got something.
Yeah,
just explain.
exactly.
Sit down and
mean, because when guys ask me, I'll be like, yeah, I stole the candy bar when I was 9 years old, out the store, but that, but that's about it.
petty crime.
Right. What I mean? Other than that, have at it, right? So, yeah, and listen, this is the thing. Most men of a certain age, 9 times out of 10 in our community have some form of something. You know what I mean? And it depends on your level of acceptance, forgiveness, and say, you know, how you feel. What the people deserve a second chance if they turn their life around, if they haven't gotten any trouble since then, and it was long time ago.
Right.
I get that. People are with people and have been with, and that's cool. But if it's certain things, like you said, got to do with children, you know, the M word, the SA word, the R word, the M word, like any of that, like, nah, I'll pass. You know what I mean? I'll pass on that. But, you know, if you tell me, yeah, you know, when I was a teenager, you know, I got in trouble in college, you know, and I wrote a bad check, whatever. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got no trouble since or whatever. And we know there's people like that every day walking the earth that are good people that have changed their life, turned around, made a mistake. But but this one right here, it's certain ones that ain't no coming back from that. Like this brother Polight situation, ain't no coming back from that, bro. Like he need to be thrown all the way out of community. And this is the thing I don't understand, you know, why wasn't no pause put on these brothers? I'm from the old school. I just don't understand.
I don't know. I know that's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know.
Bro, Clarence, we got people from the conscious community still rocking with this brother.
I can't understand that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you gotta, you know, put the man to death, but definitely he can't be seen as somebody of any significance to be talking to the people. You know, you got to take some time out to kind of clear, you know, get your name together, get your name right first. Then you can come outside. But it's like you said
though, bro, you know, when women are not protected by husbands, brothers, you know, men and male figures in their family, when they're not protected, they're very vulnerable to pedos, unfortunately. They're, you know, pedos see them as nobody is going to protect this black girl or this black woman. And it's so unfortunate in our community that that's how it is a lot of times. And you did that when you did that show and when that guy said, yeah, he will look for the kid whose father ain't around.
Yeah.
So he knows that child is very vulnerable. So you have these cases, unfortunately, a lot.
Man, that's terrible. Wow. All right, y'all. We gotta move on to the we gotta move on to the
Okay, well, I have something real quick.
Okay.
This will be a real quick one. Okay. Did anybody see the BET Awards? This is a real quick one.
I did not.
I did not.
I did. And you know, there was a situation where you know, Patti LaBelle got up there and you know, she was doing a tribute to Tina Turner, and you know, I just believe she started out in the wrong key, you know, probably because she really couldn't hear. And then you had somebody standing in front of the teleprompter, you know, so that she can kind of read the words, you know. So, you know, she's a trooper. Yeah, she's a trooper, man. You know, she
I mean, and she's
you know, she said, hey, I'm trying. Exactly. You know, she said, hey, I'm trying, y'all. You know, but you know, you gotta love Patti. But here's the thing I want to talk about real quick. And I'll probably get some flack behind this statement. I'm just very disappointed with our young ladies. You see what I'm saying? The way that they are presenting themselves. You know, back in the day when I would watch the award shows like BET or Soul Train Awards or, you know, whatever the awards were, where we were, you know, exalted or something, right? You know, we had a certain class about ourselves. And to me, it just seems like that has totally gone. You know, the young ladies, they just, you know, it's like they lead with their pooch and their cooch. You know, they don't, you know, and so I just sat and I looked. I said, wow, you know, God, listen, this is something else, you know. I mean, it's like what?
Well, Vaughn, you know what they call in the BET Awards now, the EBT Award.
You know, listen, it was and I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to say it straight out. It was an absolute disgrace to me.
Yeah, I heard about it.
The way that the young ladies were portrayed in all of the performances. It's like, come on, where's the class? You see what I'm saying? Wait. Where is the grace? Where is the class? Where is the elegance? Is that all gone out of the scenario and the situation?
Yes.
Oh man, just ridiculous.
That's why I say It's the EBT Awards.
Remember we did a show. I did a video on the BET Awards about 2 years ago or 3 years ago when Lil Nas X was on there.
Oh
right?
God.
And I
Yeah.
said,
I remember
this
that.
This thing has gotten way out of hand. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I'm done with it because not only that, that was just the appetizer. I mean, like you said, the girls came out, the shorts was all in the crack of their behinds. I mean, there's a time and a place, but I just think in the public, man, you kind of gotta, because and the reason why I'm saying that is because Black women have a bad rap anyway, right? We should be trying to put them in a better light as much as possible, in my opinion, right? Not more sexualize them more, right?
But you know what? I mean, man, I don't even know what to actually say about this other than what I've just said. But wow, very disappointed. And this and it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, God, what examples are these young? What examples are these young ladies giving to all of those young girls who are starting to look up to them and admire them for whatever reason?
The bad part about it is, here's the even worse part about it all. If a sister like C. Dolores Tucker go out there right now and say, hey, this is not good, you guys should, handle this a different way. There's a way you can be sensual, but you don't have to show everything and be all out there like that. They would crucify that sister, man. They would say, you with the patriarchy, you are trying to stand in our way. We want to be free and we want to be able to do our thing like Hoochie Con, right? We want to be able to be hoochies.
Yeah, we talked about that, right?
Whatever, right? Yeah, we talked about that.
Hoochie Mom.
That's the bad part, right? Patrice, did you know that we talked about Hoochie Con? Did you know that?
I heard about it. I had never even heard of it until you.
But Brother Clarence, here's another part though, and then I'll be done with this topic. But there was absolutely no singing. Like there was no talent of singing. Man, come on, that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
When Gladys Knight would get up, when
Anita
Baker got up, when
Roberta
Jasmine,
Flack,
you know what I'm saying? Sullivan gets up, when Erykah Badu, and we used to have singers. There's no singers now. Everything was about rap. Everything was about rap, and I get it. Hey, hip hop forever.
Well,
I get it.
I'm hoping with Tyler Perry purchasing BET and VH1 allegedly heard. I'm hoping that he can be a big part of changing the image. Why you saying
Listen, notice how he said with his mouth shut, right? He didn't even open his mouth.
He's not gonna change a thing. As a matter of fact. Now, maybe let me put it like this. As long as he has the same mentality he has now, it's not going to change. But if he over time sees what's actually going on, maybe he might be able to start moving things in a different direction. But I think that their most important thing is to try to get younger viewers. And the younger viewers are not going to tune in to see people who can sing. They're going to tune in to see who can out nasty the next person. Like,
that's what this whole episode was about. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And it's like, hey, listen.
I'm not gonna look at it, and I stopped years ago. Anyway because
I always keep trying to keep this faith for the BET Awards, and it's just dwindling every year.
Oh man, dude.
Maybe this year it'll be better. I always say that to myself.
Nobody has a financial incentive to fix it. See, nobody has a financial incentive to correct it.
Hopefully with them, with the social medias and all of them, they've been tweeting about it, they've been talking about it. I'm hoping that somebody has to start to set the tone, and it needs to be a young lady that, can set that tone to say, Yeah, and this is why a lot of rappers that are that don't dress that way and act that way and sell themselves that way don't get the recognition. It's because the sex is selling more than the talent is selling, unfortunately.
And see, that's the sad part. Listen, that's the sad part to me, is that the sex is selling more than the actual talent or the gift. And it's a shame that these young women feel that they have to lead with their cooch. See what I'm saying? And they're behind. See, they'll turn their back on you in a minute, bend over and shake it. See what I'm saying? Because there's no shame in that for them. There's no shame in that for them. It's like, look what I got. Look what I got. I'm going to open my legs as far as I can so you can see as far as you can see. You see what I'm saying? There's no, my goodness.
So
what's going
this
on?
is what it's an indoctrination. So they're indoctrinating the young girls by saying, you don't have to be a good person. All you have to do is be able to ramp up sexual tension. If you want people to like you, or you want people to be around you, you want to be able to attract people, right? You want to have people that come around you, right? You don't have to be a good person. Just be nastier than the next chick.
Or you don't have to have that much talent.
You don't have to have talent.
But you know what?
You don't have to have talent. You don't have to have a good personality. You don't have to have an attractive personality. You don't have to be a good person. None of that. All you have to do is, be as vicious to the next person as possible, and be able to ramp up sexual tension at the same time. You got it made. You got it made. And that's what so now, I knew this day was going to come, Vaughn, where now you got a whole show where nobody can sing, nobody can dance.
And that's what it is.
No, nobody can do nothing. And every once in a while, you got to bring somebody like Patti LaBelle or Shaka Khan or an old school person up there to kind of give it a little bit of validity, right? But
so besides Patty, was it any other old schoolers there?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody gonna sign up for that garbage.
At least you could have brought some good people up, with the neo soul. But I mean, the BET Award should be about some soul singing. Come on, that's how it started out.
We could have sent Patrice going on and shut the whole show down. We could have shut the whole show down over there, man. They ain't got nobody over there that can sing.
Listen, number one, I couldn't understand a word because everybody was I don't know what you're talking about. I can't hear a lyric. I need to hear a lyric. Man. They make it where you can't even hear a lyric.
And the lyrics are so crazy, and they're talking about so many different crazy things, man.
I heard Busta's speech was questionable too. Some stuff he said. That's what I heard. I don't know. I had thought maybe I'll watch it.
Busta Rhymes, he went way over his time, but
I heard.
Hey, listen, he's Busta Rhymes. So what can you say now? Come on. You see what I'm saying? In my mind, hey, I felt he earned it.
He trying to say Jamaicans was the first ones to start hip hop rap. I'm like, huh? What? Have you ever heard of Pygmy Markham?
Yeah, I would have to say yes. Busta Rhymes did have a very good segment in that show. He was able to do a lot of his songs and brought back some memories. You know what I'm saying? But man, the young ladies were out of control. They were out of control.
So did they do a tribute to 50 years in hip hop? Did they do that?
Maybe that's what it was. But I'm noticing the past 5 years or 6 years, it's all about rap and hip hop. There are no talented singers. Come on, there are no Luther Vandross. There is no Marvin Gaye's. There is, you see what I'm saying?
You know what, Vaughn? They just not letting them get in the light.
There's no Stokely's. There's no, I can go on and on. Come on.
Yeah, there are. They just not letting them have a platform. That's all. But they out there. They just not shining the light on the true talent. They're shining the light on the sex selling.
Yeah. And whoever's willing to play ball. If you're willing to play ball, they're gonna push you out there. If you're not willing to play ball, you just sit back in the back and you never get called up.
But you know what, Brother Clarence? They're losing a whole audience of people by doing that. You see what I'm saying? You need to see some of these pioneers who still on the road. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They should still be a part of that process.
But see, the young people don't want to see that, Vaughn. That's the problem.
And they getting them out the way too, because they done gave Anita her lifetime. They done gave Shaka hers. They done gave Patty hers. They done gave Gladys hers. So once they give them that, they kind of out of the limelight. So you got artists like them. They make money off of touring with their old stuff because they got classic records that'll never die. They'll always be able to make some type of money. Yeah. That's unfortunate, but now we gotta bring in the wave of new generation of singers, which is what the hell we got right now. But when you talking people like Lettucey, Jasmine Sullivan, the true singers like these young ladies, they get very little shine and platform to stand on, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, they all should have been up there. At least do one performance while everybody else is shaking and grinding. I'm just saying. Right. That's just me.
That's why I say it'll never happen, because the goal audience is a younger audience. So they're gonna do everything to get this younger audience.
I get that.
And the younger audience does not want to see class. They want to see
trash.
Yeah, they want to see who can out nasty the other person, right?
And see, that's the thing.
That's what they're gonna have to do.
But there has to be an example of that, in the midst of all of that.
It should be.
Let's let that shine at least.
It should be. But hey, y'all, let me talk about New Gross chat. He said all the winners always yelling. First, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, God, Jesus, my Lord and Savior, right? But none of this would be possible, right? After I just been shaking my behind, got behind sweat all over the stage, right?
My goodness, you're right. You are so right.
Don't get me wrong, y'all. Don't get me wrong. There's a time to shake it like a Polaroid picture. There's a time to do all that, right? I'm just saying, if you're not working in one of Vaughn's favorite places, right? Where you got the pole and everything, right?
Now listen, I thought we were doing good, Brother Clarence. I don't want to repeat of the last episode. Now. Come on.
If they're not doing that, they fight.
If they're working at a place like that and it's a place and it's closed off, kids can't go in there. All right, maybe you shouldn't be in there, and hopefully you could find something else because it kind of work. But I'd rather you do that than be on the stage in front of millions of people popping it like it's hot. To me, I think our children deserve better, and it's unfortunate but nobody can fight.
Absolutely. Hopefully, you're not letting your children even watch them award shows anymore. What I mean? Man. Like seriously.
Yeah, because they're not like they used to be, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they have definitely changed.
Remember, we couldn't wait coming up to watch the award shows. It's not like that. If I was raising small children, there ain't nowhere in the world I would let them watch that crap.
But see, look, Patrice, remember, y'all, Vaughn, we watched as a family. We watched everything. Everybody as a family sat down and watched.
We couldn't wait for it to come on. Exactly.
Right.
Because it was it was the only thing that we had.
With your family now.
Yeah, it was the only thing that we had that represented ourselves. Right. Where we can give each other acknowledgement.
And we would push the best of us out there, right? Now we pushing the nastiest of us out there, right? Who can push the sexual tension the farthest? Who can do it the farthest? Who can go the farthest? Who can go farthest across the line? That's where we at now, where this competition, where who can be the dirtiest? Who can be the grimiest? I'm talking about between the men and the women, right? You get men up there, and the men are just as vile, and they sometimes even more, right? So what do you got? What do you got? Remember, we used to have songs talking about love, y'all. We had Enchantment, we had Earth, Wind and Fire, we had the OJs, all players, right?
Yeah.
The Spinners.
They don't care nothing about no love.
Right now, that's what this is my point, Patrice.
It's about sex.
Our children have been given.
It's not
our
about
children
love.
have been given a taste for, sexual tension. They've been given a flavor. They don't think anything is relevant if it doesn't express sexual tension in it.
Right.
You give them a TV
sexual
show,
attention or aggression or fighting or drugs or alcohol or any
kind of
type of
drama like
debauchery.
that, right?
Any type of debauchery.
We won't even watch it, right? We won't even watch a show where the family gets along, everything, and they have a little challenge here and there, but we won't even watch unless they selling drugs or they in a, they in the prawn business or they in the, stripper pole business or what
you say, Brother Clarence?
Crazy twist to it.
What do you say, Brother Clarence? Negroes acting up in Atlanta, and
Negroes
acting up in Miami,
crazy in Atlanta, Negroes acting
acting up in Los Angeles.
Right, Negroes acting up in Hollywood. Man, I mean, it's just any one of those shows that show us in a bad light, especially the women. I feel sorry for the women, man, because the women get a double dose, man. They're getting it from the media, and then unfortunately, a lot of our black men internalize that foolishness and think, oh, every black woman is like this. So, I'm just going to hit them and run, right? And that's stupid. But that's what we're being fed. We're being fed to believe that, right? Even though every other race of women, they making the same mistakes, they doing the same thing, just not being like on front and center, right?
Right. Because it's some Caucasian women that's out there with them doing the same thing and Hispanics. They just make black women the face of it. That's the difference.
Okay, so here's my last thing, and I'm done. I'm not even going to say anything else. But since when did the baby hair go all the way down to the eyebrows? Now, see, you guys are taking it way too far now.
Just like the lashes. The lashes are back.
It's like the baby hair is blending into the eyelashes. Like, what's going on?
Oh, all that.
I'm done. I'm done with that, brother. I'm sorry.
I saw some of the red carpet outfits some of them chicks had on, and I was like, oh my God. Like, wow. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy.
Yes. And then you know what? This is what kills me. Man. They would do something like that and to induce a response from the men around, right? They like wear this clothes where half the breast is hanging out and half the butt is hanging out, and then if somebody touch them, they say, "Hey, wait a minute, what's your problem?" Right? But it's like there's people that's in the crowd of these people, they ain't rap tight. If you're gonna wear something like that in a crowd of people, there's gonna be one or two crippos that's gonna be like, "Hey, I can't control myself." Boom. And they're gonna have a what do they call that? What do they call that, y'all? When somebody can't control it, they just do something. It's not a reflex, but is it involuntary? No, man. It's a word. Impulsive. They're impulsive, right? They have an impulse, and what's in the difference between an impulse and non-impulsive? And when you're non-impulsive, you can think before you act, right? But impulsive people, they can't think before they act, right? And we see this a lot of times, especially with these people like this, these creepo type dudes. They are pretty rational in their most of the points of their life, but when it comes to sex, they have an irrational thinking process, and so they will just if they get triggered, boom, they're gonna act, right? Y'all know why Regis Philbin got fired from Good Morning America? Why?
Impulse.
Grabbed Nicki Minaj on the behind, right? Nicki Minaj had just got done performing, and he tapped her on her behind, right? Because he wanted to see if it was shaking.
Was that Good Morning America or the Regis Philbin?
Well, the one he was doing with Kathy.
Yeah. Okay, I figured it was that one. I didn't know that happened though. I didn't even know that happened.
Regis and Kathy. Oh yeah, you go look that up right now on YouTube, where he tapped on the behind and he got fired for that. Right.
Wow. Yeah. See what happened.
They got rid of him and brought somebody else.
All of that,
it is bringing out a lot of meaning to SA women. Unfortunately, like you're saying, whether it's groping, touching, patting, slapping, in places, feeling, you know, unfortunately, it's more that happening now than ever before.
Right. But
I guess we have to understand that even if a female walks right in front of you butt naked, that doesn't mean you have the right to touch her.
No, I'm not saying you have to, you supposed to just do it. I'm not saying it. I'm saying there's two groups of people. There's people, and there's the biggest group of people is the people that can control themselves.
Right.
But you got to account for the people that can't. Right? You have to account for those people as well. There's people out there that can't control themselves.
And it's always going to be somebody that's going to be inappropriate.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, that's news to me because I thought he left the show on his own terms, you know.
Oh no!
I remember they gave him a big. I remember they gave him a big send off and all of that.
Yeah, oh yeah, they got rid of it because
that
was what happened. He grabbed her on her behind, he tapped her on her behind, and that was it. That was where the ball got rolling right there. Right. So
he was that Caucasian man that wanted to see did it really jiggy with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And, her people threatened to sue them into oblivion. They fired him. Him. So you know, they had to get rid of him. But anyway,
all right, but I gotta get ready to go in here and to rehearsal, but I'm gonna be listening every chance I get in the background. But this is interesting conversation. Let's definitely pick up on that brother Polight situation. I definitely would like to talk about that more.
All right, just remind me, Patrice.
I will do. Salute to the chat. The chat is where it's
my
at.
sister. Much love.
All right, love you, brothers. All right.
All right, love you, girl. All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. See, damn it. I kept trying to get to ask her a
New
question.
Growth is really cutting up in the chat, man. New Growth is cutting up in the chat, man.
New Growth's cutting up the chat.
Yeah, he's always cutting up back there.
New Growth said he got fired over some plastic booty. I think New Growth, he had heard about that, and maybe he wanted to see if it was real or not, so he kind of tapped it just to see if it was real or not. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up, man. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Are you sure it wasn't an accident?
No, I'm positive.
Let me quit. I'm just being the devil's advocate, right?
Hey, Vaughn is trying to look out for Regis Philbin, man. Vaughn, he gotta look out for him. He passed away. Vaughn, he passed away. Let's see. Regis hits Nicki Minaj. Yeah, let's see. And he tapped on her butt. Here we go. Oh, Clarence, you can't be telling the truth, Clarence, because I know Regis Philbin is a man of God, and he would never do anything like that. He's a man of God. He's a man of God. He's a man of God.
Wow.
Women. Vaughn. Women. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. What's it? They say all in the name of love.
I didn't even know this took place. Okay. So this is crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna see. This is Regis Philbin, and then you see the name of the video. Regis tapped Nicki Minaj's cakes. Okay, we're gonna see Regis Philbin. We're gonna see Reg reach out for the cakes. Yeah, Reg, man. Reg was out of control that day.
Reg was reaching.
This looks like you got a little strap around you there. You know what I mean?
You see that?
Wait. What did he do there? I missed it. Nah, I don't know.
It was real quick.
Thank you very much. This looks like you got a little strap around you there. You know what I mean?
Oh, the other hand in the back. Yeah, he slipped the backhand. I saw that.
Yeah, you got it. He got it with the left hand, right?
I saw that left hand. He slipped it right back there. Wow. Regis, what happened,
that was the ball that got rolled. I guess, hey, man, he was hiding a stiff one.
Well, you know what? I missed that episode because you know what? I recall them giving him a huge send-off as if, hey, we're just so glad you were here and we hate to see you go. And
Yeah,
Man, and everybody was on that show. I
that is
remember
the
that
reason
back
why
in
he
the
got
day.
let go, because of that right there. He got let go. They said, they talking about suing us into oblivion. So, all right, y'all, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on because I know this is Vaughn's favorite show, the Regis and Kathy Lee, but we got to move on, y'all. We got to move on.
You know.
We got to move on. We got whoa, this is a serious one right here, y'all. This is serious. I want y'all to pay close attention to this situation, right? Okay. This is okay, so this is the dude, and he tells okay. So I know y'all heard about this one, right? Where the young man and this lady was having an issue in the chicken shack or wherever, right? Out in Chicago, right? In your hometown, Vaughn. Right around the corner from you, right? And
man, listen, they be cutting up now. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, so the man, even though he had the tight pants on, he said, "Hey," he said, "don't say nothing else to me. I'm gonna light you, I'm gonna fire you up," right? So the girl just kept on talking, right? You can't tell me what to do. See the person in the back. Cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. Right. Oh yeah.
What you know about cheeseburger?
Remember that Vaughn from the old Saturday Night Live? Cheeseburger,
Yes,
chip.
sir. Yes, sir.
No fried cheap. No fried cheap. Right. So but anyway, my man's got the tight pants on, right? And of course she's got the bonnet on, of course. So everybody is as ghetto as possible, right? So we're gonna watch when the altercation took place, and so I want to see what you got to say about this one. Hold on.
Woo, get in the car. Nay. Get your food. Get your food. If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my God, I said one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
Okay, right there. I don't want us to get shut down, but that's when he proceeds to attack her.
But
now,
you know, wow.
My thing is this. Should she have been quiet? Yes. Did he have the right to assault her? No, obviously not.
No, absolutely not. Come on,
right?
man.
So
now, if she was attacking him, I could understand, but no, come on.
Right, exactly, right. So she had a deadly weapon faced at him or something like that. Yeah, he had to defend himself. But this was just purely frustration, right? He was just frustrated with her, and he wanted her kind of like the manosphere, right? I man, you woman, I give you commands, you obey. But I ain't married to you, so what? I'm a man. You must obey me anyway, because I'm a man, right? The manosphere talking point number 2084, right? So anyway,
man.
So he decides, you know what? I got a good way of ending this situation. I'm just going to physically assault her. Then she'll see, right? That's his first mistake. Well, I would say his first mistake was engaging this chick, right? Over whatever the situation was. This happens, well, I would say probably 95 times out of 100, most guys just leave it alone and walk away, right? But like I was talking about before, it's not those guys you got a plan for. It's these guys are the ones you got a plan for, right? You got to be prepared for these type of guys, right? That just gonna snap, right? Maybe maybe his wife or his girlfriend decided to break up with him that day. Who knows what was going through his head, right? Who knows? But he decided to handle it in 100% the wrong way. Now, we all know what happened next, right? She sent her son to go get her registered weapon, and the son just fired and killed the guy, right? Obviously, because he attacked the mother, right? Not obviously, but that's what he decided to do, right? Based on the mother saying, go get him, and this is what happened, right? Killed the guy. Now the son is in jail. The guy is dead, and the mother's free to do her thing, right? Now this happens a lot with women, right? Certain women, well, I won't say every woman, but certain women, right? Wars have been waged over women, right? So women are very valuable situation, man. A lot can happen just behind women, right? One dude dead, one dude gonna do life in prison, all over a woman, right? But here's the question: should she have gotten a gun, or what other options could she have taken when he decided to assault this lady? What other options could she have taken? Because we saw grown men, they just turned around and left, right? It looked like The Color Purple, right? Remember when they closed the piano?
Yes, sir. Once that piano case closed. Yeah.
Oh,
and
girl
then you're
said-
pushing that chair. You're pushing that chair. That means, listen, I'm up. Y'all do what you're gonna do because I'm out. But that's the mentality in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I've lived there. You know what I mean? And when you see a ruckus starting, listen, you know, I put my food in the bag, wrap it up, and I'm out the door because I don't know if niggas are gonna start shooting or what they're gonna do.
Same in LA. It's the same in LA. Yeah, it's the same.
But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's a whole totally different atmosphere out there though than out here. You know, it's same kind of crime, but it's just a whole different atmosphere.
Okay, well, M. Mills. Let me put M. Mills up here because she got a good point. Okay, she said this man is a felon. He was a felon. He's no longer with us. Is my understanding. He's no longer with us. This man was a felon with a record of attacking women. She didn't send her son to get the weapon. She told him to go to the car, and he stood there and watched him hitting his mother. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, in Mills. But my thing is, now if the man was continuously attacking her, which we don't know, right? Let's assume that the man was continuously.
But then it doesn't matter, Brother Clarence, because if he did that and he's still standing there, he still poses a threat.
That's what I'm saying. So now I can say, okay, that may be where the son has the leeway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy is still attacking his mother, and do you really have time to call 911 and wait till your mother's brains are beat out? Right? She's beaten into a vegetable, or you can take action right now, right? So in that sense, but from what I saw, he hit her twice, and then he left it. But what the woman could have done, in my opinion, was call the cops, right? Or told the son to call the cops. Because you see people filing out of there, right? Like I said, like Color Purple, right? This here our juke joint. She slapped Oprah Winfrey. The music stopped. The piano player said, "Good night, y'all." Right? He got up, left.
Wow.
Or just like when that white lady, with that white man slapped Sister Sophia.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Sister Sophia, no!" Sister Sophia, no! Right?
Exactly.
You see the dude go flying through the window.
Yeah.
But all right, but my point is, there was a time where if black men were around, black men would pull this dude off the woman, right?
Yeah.
Other black men would say, "Hey, bro, what you doing?"
Yeah, exactly.
Get yourself together, right?
Exactly.
Now, A, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on here, right? B, this person might have a weapon. See, so I think the best thing to do, listen to me, you guys, especially you men. You guys can't go around breaking up. I used to do it. I used to do it here in LA. I used to do it when I was working. I used to break up fights because I used to go to county buildings and stuff. I used to break up fights all the time where they fighting over parking spaces and fighting over something because your kid hit my kid. I used to break up fights. I don't do that no more. I don't do that no more, man. It's like, hey, I don't even know what's going on. The most I'll do is call the police. I'll make that call. And that's what we need to do. We all got phones. Make the call. Don't try to be no hero. You know, now, there's the one exception to this rule I'm going to make. Here's the one exception. You ready for the exception to the rule? Here's the exception to the rule, y'all. Hang on. If you're looking at a situation where you think somebody's going to lose their life if you don't interject, that is your time to make that decision. That's your decision to make. If you see somebody and they're about to lose their life and you can interject and maybe prevent them from losing their life, that's a decision you got to make, right? We all gonna be faced with that decision at some point. Fortunately for me, I've never been in a situation where I had to decide if I'm gonna do something like that. Because, you know, whenever I saw a situation, I always looked at it as somebody could lose their life anyway. So I just I got involved, right? But I shouldn't really do that. I should just call the cops, especially if I realize, hey, they just throwing blows, but you don't know if somebody got a weapon. You don't know what's going on, right? My martial arts instructor, Grandmaster Urban, he used to say, don't let nobody go nowhere. If you dealing with somebody and they say, stay right here, I'll be right back, I'm going to my car. Don't let that cat go nowhere. Don't let him go nowhere. Don't let him go to the car. How you gonna stop him, Clarence? Well, you got to figure that part out for yourself. But if you're there when he gets back, it's gonna be a problem for you, right? This dude hit this lady, and unfortunately, he lost his life. Now, should he have hit her? No. That opened him up to getting the retaliation that he got, right? Because if you do something crazy, most time people gonna retaliate, right? The Quran said, "Oh, you who believe, retaliation is prescribed for you," right? And it says, "In the matter of the slain," right? Retaliation is prescribed for you, right? You gonna, you know, how you gonna be okay knowing that the person that did something to you is out there walking around and nothing happened to him? None. It's gonna drive you crazy. So you need a prescription. It's prescribed for you. It's a prescription of retaliation. Now, who's supposed to retaliate for you? The state. The state is supposed to retaliate for you. We can't let you retaliate. You ain't gonna have you gonna do it the way you want to do it, and it might not be lawful. Let's just say it like that. You might torture the person, right? Shout out to Marcus, by the way. Glad to have you in the building, my brother.
Shout out to Marcus.
Emil said the son brought the weapon with him when he came to see what was going on. He punched her 3 times. Oh, 3 times. I saw it twice. He punched her 3 times and planned on beating her down like a dog. His girlfriend was egging him on. Okay. Well, then that's the situation, right? See, it's perspective, right? Because it looked to me like he hit her twice and he kind of just was yelling at her. But if he hit her 3 times and he's continuing to, like you said, Vaughn, pose that threat, what was the young man supposed to do? Let his mother get her brains beat out? Call 911. Yeah, they'll be here in 15, 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Right? Right?
And it takes less than that. It takes less than that to kill a person.
Right. Right. Especially if you're not getting, I mean, the dude seemed like she wasn't hitting him back at all.
But you know what, Brother Clarence? But see, and you know, it's unfortunate that people have to learn the way that we have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
You know, when you live by this type of motivation and behavior, you die by that type of motivation. You see what I'm saying? If you live, the way you live by it, like they say, you see, you die by it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with this young man, you know?
Yeah. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, as they say,
Yeah,
right?
that's how. Yeah, I know I got it twisted up, but you're right. That's how. That's it right there. You know, if you live by it, you die by it.
Yeah.
You know, and this young man was definitely out of order.
Correct.
You know, and you know, God bless his two daughters that you know, are weighing in the balance because now they don't have a father in their life.
Yeah, man, that's terrible. That's terrible. And the way he treated that woman was terrible. But I don't know, man. It's just so bad. But it just goes to show you.
But you know what? It man, it just has cowardice all over it. You know, what man is going to clock a woman like that?
But hey,
she couldn't have wait, hold on. She couldn't have posed that much of a threat for you to have to
frustrated, Vaughn. That was
for you to have
frustration.
to, for him to have to cold cock her that way. You see what I'm saying? You know, he could have taken his frustration out on another individual or a man or something.
Yeah, it's just
but you pick the weaker vessel.
Right.
You know, to go ham on like that. Come on.
Right. Right.
Totally unacceptable. You know, and I don't want to be, you know, the type of person to say, well, he got what he deserved, you know, but this is what happens when you respond and react this way.
And sometimes you got a woman that's egging you on, and then sometimes you got a woman that got sense. I remember one time I took my children to, I took all my sons and a friend of theirs to Legoland down here in San Diego. I took them to Legoland, and so we stayed in a hotel room, right? And so my son's friend's mother, he had a phone, right? So she would call him all the time. Hey, what's going on? What's the sleeping arrangements? Where you sleeping? This and that, you know, which was fine with me because I would do the same thing. So it was no cool. You know, all the boys, they slept, they rotated, you know, 2 on the beds, 2 on the floor, right? So they rotated one night because we stayed 2 nights, right? So one night one set had the beds. There was 2 beds in their room, right? So anyway, but while we were at Legoland one of the days, this dude, I was waiting in line to get some food. I think it was some spaghetti or something like that. And I was waiting to get some food, right? And so I had been waiting in line for a while. And so all of a sudden, this dude, he was behind me. He started grumbling. And I was like, uh-oh, what's that grumbling? I was, you know what I mean? It was like not a good grumble. And it was coming in my direction. And I was like, what's this dude's problem? So now over here, I'm telling this girl, that dude cut me. And the girl was like, he been standing there since we got here. He been standing there. And he was like, nah. He cut me. And so now I'm like, because he making sure I can hear it, right? He was probably about 5 feet away from me, but now he's like, nah, this dude cut me, nah, right? And I said, okay, Clarence, I see what's happening, right? So I had my sons with me. They was little at that time, right? My oldest was probably about 10 or 11, right? And my other ones was 6 and 5, whatever, right? And then I had this other boy, another 6-year-old with me, right? So I told my wife, I said, take these kids over here to the corner because I see this dude sitting. He looking at me like, okay, that's an easy win right there. Like this dude looked at her, right? That's an easy win right there. So I said, okay. So I don't know what he was on. Maybe he was on some drugs or something, right? But the woman saw what I was doing. She was like, okay, he getting the children out the way. He getting his wife out the way. He knows something. He getting prepared. He might know, he know a little something. And then she started getting the energy off of me. Like, if this dude, I'm going to put this dude in the hospital if he's lucky, right? So she started getting that energy off of me. So she started telling him, hey, look, hey, come here, come on, just let's go sit down. So finally she got him to go sit down. She got him out of the line. But my point was, hey, I didn't know what this dude was going to do. And I could tell he was revving himself up more and more and more. saying that I had cut him, basically saying that, but fortunately for everybody involved, his girl was talking sense to him and like, hey, no, man, the dude he was there when we got here. But the dude wasn't going for it, right? I guess he wanted to go off on somebody, right? And I was gonna be that dude where he thought. But his girlfriend, man, saved his life and talked him out of that one. But my point is, you don't never know what's gonna happen. You can be in line with your kids. You don't know what is gonna happen.
You never know, man. You never know.
You never know what's gonna happen,
and
man.
That's why you have to have your head on what the young people say, swivel. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta have a swivel.
Because you don't know what's going on. Just going into Popeyes or wherever you go.
You don't know what's going on.
Harold's Chicken. You don't know who's going to get the cutting up and acting up in there.
Bro, our martial arts teacher used to tell us, he said, you should be like a deer at the river, right? He said, you ever see them deers at the river?
Yeah, they laugh and they look.
They hear something, they up and around, right? They never just fully relax when they drinking, right? Because they don't know, an alligator could come out of the water, a bear could come out of the woods, anything, right? Anything. So they always on alert, high alert, right? He said that's how you should be when you outside of your home. You should be on high alert because you don't never know what's gonna happen, right? You could lose your life going to get a hot dog, man. What does it say? Pizza, right? What does it say? Pizza by the slice. Yeah, pizza by the slice.
Well, Brother Clarence, there was some ruckus because they're saying that, the young man shot this young man in this establishment, and he was able to run away somehow. He was able to get away. The
guy that got shot.
The guy that got shot. Okay. And so as he was running away, the young man still shot him again from behind.
That's where the issue was.
You see, and so now I believe that may create an issue. You see what I'm saying? But still, as far as I'm concerned, if he was on his feet, he could have been going to get a weapon.
That's what's going to save him.
He was still posing a threat to me. Whether you're running away or whether you're walking away, you still pose a threat.
That's what's going to save him, because they're going to say, hey, this dude, he could have been going to go get a gun out of the car. He could have been going to get a weapon. So I had to put him down, right? That's why when the police they catch you and they beating the hell out of you, what are they constantly saying? Stop resisting. You ain't resisting, right? Just remember they told Rodney King, stop resisting. They whooping the ish out of him, right? They said, stop resisting, right? Because they trying to paint the picture that you resisting them and they have to do what they have to do. They're going to paint it always in a light that's favorable to them, right? And that's what we all need to do. Hey, stop resisting. Don't go get that weapon. You don't go get that weapon. Pack, right?
Yeah, it's just a very unfortunate situation, man.
As Muslims, we're not supposed to carry weapons, especially firearms. We're not supposed to carry firearms, right? However, if we get it off you, definitely gonna use it. But we're not supposed to be running around with firearms.
Wait a minute. You mean those security officers that they're not strapped? When Farrakhan comes on the scene, I know they got to be strapped now. Come on. Maybe you don't want to divulge the secret, but these brothers ain't just standing.
Security guards for who?
Farrakhan.
Are you kidding? No.
Is that right?
Man,
wow.
Minister Farrakhan done been down to death row. The paid guards won't even go down there. Minister Farrakhan went down there with the death row with just his security detail. No guns, no weapons, nothing. And taught, been teaching down on death row on many of these, what they call the worst prisons in America. Been down to death row. And why? But see, it's not because they're so tough. It's not the toughness. It's just they believe. It's just that they believe God is going to intervene if something comes up, right? Okay. Pray. You go in there, you pray, and and nothing gonna happen that God don't want to happen. So if they rise up and they overtake everybody, that's what. But I did my job. My job was to come in and teach, right? So you kind of like Isaac, right? Hey, whatever God wants to happen, that's gonna be cool with us. Right? But we gonna try. We definitely gonna try to, send you to the cemetery. One or two of y'all going to the cemetery, right? But that wasn't even an issue, because it's not because he's a soul, this or that. It's just pray and they trust in God. And if that's God's will, that something like that happen, it's his will. We willing to roll with it if that's his will, right? But if it's not his will, you got a problem, right? You got a problem.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I've lived all of my life without a weapon, and I'm an older guy now, I'm retired, do a lot of work from home now, I just started my own business, but
congratulations, man.
I'm still questioning whether I should get one, because see, I can't run like I used to. See what I'm saying? So
I think it's no problem to have.
I would just rather pop and be done.
Well, I think,
but at the same time, I've trusted God all of this time.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to stop trusting Him. But at the same time, it is up for thought. I will say
man,
that.
if you have one for your home, I think it's just it's hard to have a society where the stuff like this is going to happen. People are running around with guns outside of their home. In your home, you want to have a gun. I don't even think you have to have a gun registered to have it in your home. You have to have it registered if you take it outside of your home. So I
don't need it outside the home.
That's what I'm saying. So
I'm just saying,
I think
there was a time when I would beat you down and my wife would give you the second one. See, but we're older. We're older now.
That's right. You said she's from the hub, right?
Man. She's a Comptonite. She's got that blood.
Shout out to the hub. Shout out to the hub. They call Compton the hub city. So, but yeah, man. I think that whatever you have, whatever you use, to protect yourself, whatever you got to do, do it. I'm just telling you what, he told us about us, but we're different, we're under a different set of disciplines, but, definitely you should protect yourself in any kind of way you can. I just think that if people are running around with guns outside their homes, this kind of stuff is going to happen, and especially if they're not trained in the laws and trained in, how to use it. And maybe, who knows, maybe this young man was, who knows, but there are going to be issues like this happening, right?
Well,
and
I know,
because you got a gun, this is very important, Vaughn. This is very important. Let me say this. Because you got a gun in the car, you're going to be more flamboyant. And that's going to be a problem here. That's a problem, right? Because it didn't have to escalate to this point, right? You see this dude ain't mentally stable, but you're going to keep pushing him anyway, right? He said, hey, don't say nothing else to me. Don't say nothing else to him. Who is he to say anything to? And what benefit you getting out of talking to him?
And, I could imagine how unsafe that the woman feels, residing in her home, because, in Chicago, they're very vindictive. You see what I'm saying? And this young man's family could, want to lash out and you know what I'm saying? Retaliate against her. They have a way of figuring out where you live, and you know what I'm saying? All of that.
Yeah.
It's just bad all the way around, man. It's bad all the way around. That's why I try to not have confrontation with people when I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Hey, if you want to go ahead of me, go ahead of me. See what I'm saying? If you want the parking space, take the parking space.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? If you don't go on the green light, I'm not blowing my horn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for you to go.
Yeah.
Or either go around you.
Yeah.
But man,
you never know. You never know what people are thinking, what they're going through. Did they get fired just now? And are they on their way back from getting fired? Are they on their way back from the wife kicked them out of the house because they kind of found out about the girlfriend? Who knows? Or they just got some pedo charges? Who knows what's going on in these people's heads, man? That's why.
And some people feel that they have nothing to lose.
That is the most dangerous person.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't got
world
nothing to lose.
is somebody with nothing to lose.
Even if it means their very life. Yeah, they ain't got nothing to lose.
that means they ain't got nothing to lose from their perspective. It don't matter if they die, you die, anybody else die, nothing matters to them. And you don't want to be connected with something like that. You know what I'm saying? So my thing, y'all, here's a tip. This is a tip. Clarence, we've been sitting here with you for 3 hours. Okay, here's a tip. Here's something I'm going to give y'all something to take home.
That's it.
That's all, Vaughn. That's all, Vaughn.
That last show was, boy, that was that last show, man. That even went to other, that made its way across the stream to other shows. I'm like, wow.
But you know what the good thing about it is, man? We just have so much fun. And on top of that, man, we telling so much truth. That's why nobody don't come here, man, because they can't handle it. What can they say? What can they do? We telling all this truth, man. Anyway, y'all, let me say this before I forget. You gotta not only see now what protected me from that dude in at Legoland, right? That what because I noticed the energy. See, I picked up on his energy first. And he had really bad energy, right? And if we can, that can help us to see where somebody's at. You know what I mean? Like, you should be always scanning to see who's got the worst energy. People who got good energy, yeah, they're cool. Watch them too. Don't take your eyes off of nobody, but really be looking for people who got bad energy, right? Because you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what they're going to say or what they're going to do. And then end up something like this happen, man. Next thing you know, I was driving. I'm driving in a work truck the other day, right? Nice, slow traffic right down here on Hoover Boulevard, right?
Oh, deep in the hood.
Yeah, in the with the Hoovers, right? And the A-trays and the Hoovers, right? I was over in that area, right? And I'm just driving back to my office, man, downtown. And all of a sudden, man, this car pulls up behind me and just goes around me. And then another car comes behind that car with a dude hanging out the sunroof, hollering and screaming at the first car. And I said, "Oh Lord, what's going on here?" And they ran the light, right? And I'm like, "What are these kids doing today, man? Over what? Really? Over what? This gang stuff is crazy, but you never know what's going on, man." That's why I used to be out a lot at night. I don't be out that much at night no more, man. I realized that, man, the best place to be at night is at home, man, in the house, man. Because, man,
times are different now, brother.
Yeah, man.
It ain't like when you used to hit the streets now.
Yeah, man. When I hit the streets, man, it was just like, man, we was just trying to bump and grind, right? Now they trying to, I'm more of an OG than you, and I'm a bust on you, and you gonna bust on. I'm like, what the heck? But see, I'm from LA. I know where not to be. If I ain't with the business, I know I shouldn't be here at X, Y, or Z. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm with the business, you can go over there, have at it, right? But I'm not with the business. I'll admit that in a heartbeat. I'm not with the business. So there ain't no point in me being someplace I don't need to be and then sticking out like a sore thumb, right? Because I'm trying to win friends and influence people, right? Nah. That's a done deal. All right, Vaughn, let's start wrapping up, man, because let's get out of here, man. 3 hours. I think we did. I think we made our point here.
I think you did pretty good, brother.
Yeah, man. We always do good, man. I always do good with you, man. For some reason, I don't know why. You're always pushing forward on me.
Yeah, well, I can't help that, but
Vaughn, come on, man. Just tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah,
I agree, class. I agree, right?
In a perfect world, as they say, right?
You better tell me the truth, man. I trust you. You better tell me the truth, brother. All right, man. What's the deal, man? What can we learn from these two situations that we talked about? We talked about Shirley Strawberry. Unfortunately, her husband has been brought up on pedo charges, and it seems to be getting worse. The deeper we dive into this thing, I think some more ugliness is going to come out of it. And unfortunately, she has to deal with that. Thank you, Mills. Appreciate you as always. But yeah, man, unfortunately, her husband has been brought up on these charges and looks like it's going to do nothing but get worse. We see the man here that unfortunately lost his life, by attacking a young man's mother. The young man went to the car, get the weapon, and fatally shot the man that was attacking his mom. And so, should he be shot? Debatable. Now that M. Mills brought a lot of other information to the story, changed the complexion a little bit, right? Now it's like, well, really, what else could he do, right? I mean, if you call 911, you should still call 911, still call the police. But if it's going to take them 15, 20 minutes to get there,
yeah,
can you wait that long and just let this dude keep pulling in your mom? And then when you pull a gun on him, he runs out. You don't know if he's running to go to the trunk and go get something to come back and take everybody out. Right? Everybody in the whole doggone store, right? So, what do you think, Vaughn? Give us some closing remarks.
Wow. Okay. Well, as far as the Strawberry, Shirley, my heart goes out to her because I'm pretty sure that she had no idea,
obviously,
that this brother was so caught up into what he was caught up into, and that's a sad thing when you know that you've given of yourself. And I mean, you come to find out that it was a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? But you reap what you sow, And so if this young man is guilty of any of those actions or behaviors, then he should be sat down and dealt with.
Okay. Obviously.
This is a good example to let people know that you can't get away with everything that you do. You just because you're a manly man, just because you're a man of fear, just because you provoke fear. You see what I'm saying? Don't mean that you're going to get away with it.
Yeah.
You see, there is a consequence to every response and action. And you never know what it is. Me personally, if it was my mother and I was standing there, I would have shot him like at least 3 or 4 times. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. I have absolutely no scripture or Bible for that. But I definitely would have done that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because you never know what this brother has on him or what the outcome
exactly.
And see, people in Chicago, they don't talk a lot. They shoot.
Yeah.
That's
in
what
LA.
they do. That's the mentality.
Yeah.
You see? So why try to reason?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there was no reasoning to be had.
Yeah.
And now you have 2 beautiful young babies who don't have a father now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If he had just been thinking of his children, maybe he wouldn't have behaved the way that he did.
Yeah.
But he thought about himself and how he felt.
Yeah.
And we never know what was on the young man's mind.
Yeah.
But if you live by it, you're going to die by it.
Probably.
That's the consequence. Now, on the other end of it, ladies, you really have to know how to meter these men that you come in contact with.
Yes.
Because if you don't know how to meter them, guess what? You're going to be caught off guard. You're going to speak when you should have kept your mouth closed. You see what I'm saying? No one has a right to physically assault you just because of what you're saying. But you don't want to be in a position to provoke it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want to put yourself in a position to provoke that type of behavior.
Yeah.
So be careful, because some men will say, "Man, you know what? I'm just going to leave it alone because you don't know what you're talking about," and walk away. But then you have some, like this young man, who's going to take it upon himself to try to deck you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world we live in, Brother Clarence. It's
yes, sir.
You never know what these people are capable of in these streets.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to be constantly.
And that's why
learning.
I don't trust anybody like that. I don't trust it. When I go in an establishment, I go in there for the purpose of getting my sandwich or getting my chicken or getting my hot dog or whatever it is.
Right.
I don't look to the right or to the left. Is that my food? Thank you. Goodbye.
Right.
You see, but anytime you walk in an establishment and there's a bulletproof window right there where they have to give your food through it, then you go, man, that should automatically let you know something.
Yeah.
About your surroundings.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
And with that being
man.
said, Brother Clarence, yeah, again, thank you for having me up, man. And great show again. Excellent topics tonight. And yeah, we'll catch up on the next one.
All right, brother. Thank you as always for coming up here, man. As always, I appreciate you, man. You make the show go by a lot faster, man. And you know, I turn around and it's already 3 hours. I'm like, what happened? Oh, Vaughn came up here. We were talking. We was having fun. Patrice came up here. So then, you know, next thing you know, it's 3 hours later. So thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man, for making the scene go by. And the people don't have to listen to me screaming at them. Right. Now they can listen to you screaming at them too, right?
Right.
All right, brother. Right. I appreciate you, man. Congratulations on your new business, man, and hope the family's doing well as always, brother.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna pull you down,
Pete.
brother Vaughn.
All
you
right.
good?
Yes, I'm good, Pete.
All right, brother. All right, man. I'll pull you down, man. All right. That was Brother Vaughn Bryant. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? What is going on with these folks, y'all? What's going on with your folks? You can't even go in the chicken shack no more and get nothing to eat without getting shot up? What's going on with y'all folks, man? What's going on with y'all folks, man? And what's going on? I'm going to say this. And I know some of y'all gonna push back on it, but I don't care. Push back on it. Hey, those of y'all that's content creators, do a show about it. Show me where I'm wrong at. But hey, man, you can't trust nobody with your sexual selection. I'm gonna say it again. You can't trust no one with your sexual selection. Why, Clarence? Why can't I trust anybody? My friend wants to hook me up. My mama wants to hook me up. The lady at the church wants to hook me up. The lady at the mosque, the temple, they want to hook me up. They say they got somebody just for me. How do they got somebody just for you? They don't even know you. They don't even know your nasty behind, right? They don't even know your nasty behind. They know what they see, but they don't know you. They don't know the inner workings of you. They see you in certain circumstances, right? Certain conditions. Right? Slave had a song, man, back in the day. The R&B group Slave. Shout out to Steve Arrington. Slave had a song called "Nobody Can Be You But You." Nobody can be you but you, right? Nobody can be you but you. Nobody can know you but you. That's why people can suggest a person to you, but you have to do the thorough investigation. You have to investigate the person. You have to look out and say, okay, does this person, first you do the character assessment, right? You can do a character assessment. And how do you assess the character, Clarence? Asking questions. You ask questions. A person that wants to be serious with you is not going to have a problem. They're going to understand. Of course, you're going to want to do some homework about them, so because you want to invest in them. Only a crazy person is going to get offended that you want to get some more information about their background so that you can protect yourself. Only a crazy person is going to be upset with that. Don't take nobody's, I'm just going, why you think these dating shows don't work? Why you think the people that come, I'm going to do a dating show. Why do you think these dating shows don't work? Because nobody can sexually select for you better than you. Only people that can sexually select better than you is your mama, because your mama know you, right? That's why they got so many arranged marriages in other parts of the country. Other parts of the world. because your mama know you, your daddy know you. They know you. They know your nasty behind, right? Well, mostly, right? Even they don't know you all the way, but they know you better than anybody else. Your friend don't know how nasty you are. They don't know. They really don't know because they only see you under certain circumstances. Most of your friends don't really know who kind of person you really are. If they really had to spend 24 hours with you, they'll be like, man, this dude's crazy. Clarence ain't got no sense, right? What the hell is he doing? Right? Nobody knows us but us. So if somebody come to you and say, I got somebody for you, right? I got somebody for you. You should go out on a date with them. You don't know. You don't know man, you don't know nobody. Only thing you could do is say, hey, this person, you may be interested in this person. I'll introduce you. Well, how do you think what do you think about him, Clarence? So far, from what I've seen, he's a decent dude, so far as what I've seen. But I haven't spent no whole bunch of time with this person. So you got to qualify that. You got to qualify that because, see, you'd be like Steve Harvey. You think Steve Harvey meant to introduce Shirley Strawberry, somebody he been doing business with for 20-something years, to this dude? See, people mean well. You guys remember that submarine, that submersible that got lost, that didn't get lost, that got crushed, exploded like a firecracker under the water? Clarence, how come they ain't found no bodies? Because when you put that much pressure and you got that much oxygen in there, it's going to pop like a firecracker in there. Boom! Disintegrate everything in the area of where the oxygen was. Check that oxygen. Oxygen is fire. Oxygen is literal fire. It's fire. You push enough, create enough heat, it's going to just light on fire. And it's just going to explode. Boom! You imagine pushing all those molecules together? Wherever there's a weakness in that hull, pop! But why did I bring that up? Because there's a point I want to make, and you got to think for yourself. There's a point I want to make. You think for yourself. Now the thing is coming out. It's coming out that one of the 5 people that was on that submersible did not want to go, and that was the son of the rich Pakistani businessman. He did not want to go on that trip. He told his mother he didn't want to go. He told friends he didn't want to go. He was only going because his father kept pushing him to go. But see, he didn't listen to himself. He didn't listen to himself. Right? He listened to his father. You think his father meant for him to get killed? His father didn't mean for that to happen. See, these people, man, that they walking you into the abyss, they walking you into death, they mean well. They mean well. But you got to think for yourself. It's every man for himself mentally out here. Mentally, it's every man for himself. Because guess what? If you don't watch what you eat, if you don't watch what you consume as far as media, next thing you know, man, you're going to be doing stuff that you never thought you would be doing because you're watching all this bad people acting stupid in Atlanta, black people acting stupid in Chicago, niggas acting up in Los Angeles, niggas acting up in Florida, right? I mean, whatever, right? Whatever iteration of the bad people acting badly TV shows, right? Who cares? But see, it should be 50,000 people in here listening to what I'm saying. because they listen to people that are unqualified. You listen to unqualified people. You're making business decisions with unqualified people. Why? Because you're scared to go behind them because they're your friend. You're scared to challenge them. F that, I'll challenge somebody in a minute. That little man, that young man on that submersible, he didn't even want to go on that. He didn't even want to go. But he let his father pull him on there. He let his father pull him to his death. That boy had sense enough to say, I don't want to get nothing that needs 17 bolts so that I can get out. It has to be unbolted 17 times so I can get out. I don't want to get in nothing like that. Right? At least the airplane got a door. Right? You get in that space, you get in that submersible, they got to bolt you in. That would have been the first thing that they made me say, But we listen to people, man, and they ain't qualified, man, and they mean well. So we ain't questioning them, right? Shirley listened to Steve, right? Steve meant well. She said, I'm gonna take Steve Steve is vouching for this dude. I'm gonna take Steve's vouching for this guy, and I'm gonna move on that. Instead of saying to herself, okay, Steve vouching for this dude, but Steve only know this dude like this much. He only know this dude this much. He don't know everything about this dude. I got to do a deep dive my own self. But like I said, Shirley out here giving bad advice as always. I'll get that for you later, Sim. I'm gonna shut this thing down, man. But I mean, she give out bad advice constantly. Among other people out here on YouTube, she gives out bad advice constantly. Life-destroying advice. Telling people to walk away from their marriages, telling people to walk away from this and that. Instead of saying, hey, why don't you get you some counseling? Okay, this is, you tell a funny story, right? Because, it's an entertainment show. Tell a funny story. Then you say, hey, but we hooked up with some counselors. Maybe you should listen to one of these counselors. Go take your thing to a marriage counselor. They don't tell people go to get no marriage counseling. Most of the time they don't. So I guess sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. They just tell them, you shouldn't do that. Man, shout out to Shirley, man, but man, she just gives horrible advice to real people who got real problems, man. She gives horrible advice to them. Anyway, getting off of that, who you gonna listen to is very important. Who you listen to is very important. Because in today's world is so wicked, y'all. It's so wicked that listening to the wrong person can get you killed. Listening to the wrong advice can get you killed. But somebody can mean well. Somebody mean well. Oh, I meant well. Oh, you mean well? Yeah, I mean well. Is that gonna save you? Did that dude on that submersible, did his father, meaning well, save him? He didn't want to go. He told his parents, he told his mother he didn't want to go. He told his friends he didn't want to go. But he wasn't strong enough inside to stand by what he felt. He wasn't strong enough. Just like some of us, we ain't strong enough, right? We meet somebody, they real nice person, we like them, right? And we question them. And we don't want to question them. We don't want to, make them feel bad by questioning them about their past, right? We all should be open to be questioned about our past, right? Some of us got I think most of us got points in our past that we regret, right? But at least a person should know that if you did something in the past that was not good, at least you got a different thinking mentality today. That's the whole point. People say, why? Like I said before, people say, what's the matter? What's wrong with the, why you guys always talking about the body counts? That is very important. It's very important. Lets me know if your body count is very high, that lets me know, A, you got a lot of mileage on that vagina, right? So I might not be getting something that's so special, right? Because vagina with high miles on it. But there's a way to fix that. There's ways to fixing that. Secondly, you probably need a cleanse. You probably need a cellular cleanse, right? Let's say you've been having a lot of sexual intercourse with men, and they have been, well, I'm gonna just say it, they've been leaving the seed in you, right? Maybe it hasn't germinated, right? Maybe it didn't germinate or whatever, but that residual, some of that residual is gonna be in there. We gotta clean that stuff out at the cellular level, get it all out, do a cleanse, get all that mess out. Now you're like a brand new car right off the car lot, right? Once you get all that other stuff out of you, you're like a brand new car in the car lot. But most women, they don't get a cleanse, right? I don't need to. It don't matter. Does matter. Does matter to men. It matters. Men are marrying you because you're bringing a lot to the table, and you're bringing a lot to the table, and the sanctity of the vagina is another thing that they looking for, right? I mean, if you ask 100 guys, would you rather your woman have 2 bodies or 10 bodies? The average guy's gonna say 2, right? Vaughn said, are people really honest about their body count though? I don't know. I don't see why they wouldn't be, except for the reason why a person is not going to be honest with you, and that's another red flag right there. But the reason why the people is not going to be honest with you, but I don't think that asking about the body count is the important thing. I think just looking at a person's behavior, if they got a kind of behavior, and just assume that it's high, and just say, hey, let's get a cleanse. Let's get you a cleanse. Because I think it's kind of rude to ask a woman, hey, how many bodies do you have? I think that's kind of rude. I would just assume that she's got more, more than a couple, right? The average woman in today's society, by the age of 25, is going to probably have, they're probably going to have some double-digit victims, right? So I would just assume that and just say, hey, let's get a cleanse. Let's get you a cellular cleanse. Because if you don't, the problem is, and if you can't determine that this person don't have a way about them, behavior patterns that encourages getting a high body count, see, that's what's going to be the problem, right? They want to get with you, but they still have their old ways of how they got the body count high in the first place by, being in the streets, right? Some people think it's fun to be like that. They don't know what it's like to be have integrity, right? To them, what's the use of integrity? But you say, good luck with that, Brooklyn. Well, I'm trying to find a solution, Patrice, that's going to solve everybody's problem. Unfortunately, when a woman has a high body count, what can you do about that? But she might have turned the corner, right? She might have turned the corner. And she's like, hey, man, I see that's not the kind of lifestyle I should be leading. I'm very lucky. I didn't, nothing happened to me very serious. Okay, now I want to be the kind of person, the kind of woman that I just want to give myself to the man that I really truly love, right? Okay. So if you want to be that person, then you'll have to show the person how important they are by doing something to show them, right? Because if you're going to go to them and say, hey, look, bro, the way my church works or the way my mosque works, we have a courting process. And in this courting process, one of the things we have to talk about is our credit, our income, and our criminal history. Those are things we discuss in the courting process. Man, I ain't got, why I gotta talk to you about red flag. But if the dude go, well, I got some things that I don't like, I'm embarrassed about, but we can sit down and talk about it. But now this is after you built up a certain amount of trust, right? When you're just going out with somebody, you don't want to on the first date be like, did you, we're gonna stop by what do they call it place? We're gonna stop by the fingerprint place, right? we'll get your fingerprints done on the way to the fish shack or on the way to the chicken shack. We're gonna get your fingerprints done. No, man, no. You build up a little rapport, and then you see if you want to court this person. If you think, hey, I might could take this a little farther. Okay, then now you gotta review the medical history. You gotta review the medical history. You gotta review you need to know if this person has any illnesses that you need to know about, right? See, we got to the point, we as Black people, man, we done got to the point where questioning things is looked at as an insult, right? It's some type of way looked at as an insult. It's not, you're not insulting nobody or disrespect by asking a question. And I know we learned that in slavery, right? Master say, Jim, go bale that hay. Right? Nigga, go bale that hay. But if we bale that hay, why we got to do that now? Because Master say, Jim, you don't ask me no questions. I tell you to bale that hay, go bale that hay. Right? Master took it as disrespect, you even asking a question. If you do ask a question, right? Remember To Kill a Mockingbird? Jim, are you calling Miss Pearly Things a liar? I'm not saying she lied. I'm just saying she mistaken in her mind. Right? Got to do all these different ways of not saying it, not calling them a direct liar, not directly calling them a liar, right? Jim, are you sure, Jim? Are you sure? I'm sure, Mr. Charlie, I'm sure. Because I know I did not do that, because I just say she mistaken in her mind. Read the book To Kill a Mockingbird. It's good book. But the whole point is we couldn't ask questions. For 400 years, we couldn't ask questions. Hey, how does banking work? How does this work? How does that work? We wasn't supposed to ask those questions. Now we out here, and we held on to that belief, right? Like, if a white person get mad enough at the questions we asking, we need to just stop asking. Now we done got to the point where if a Black person get mad enough, you're supposed to stop asking questions. Don't ask no questions. Why? Do you know why white children outperform Black children most of the time on standardized testing and then scholastically? It's not because they're smarter. It's not because they're smarter. Most of the time, the reason why white kids do much better in standardized testing is because white people as a group, not saying all of them, but white people as a group, they let their children ask questions. They let their children's curiosity, them explore their curiosity. So with them allowed to explore their curiosity, they realize that nothing is off limits to them. Whereas Black children, everything, Don't you ask me no questions, right? They're put in boxes. White children's thinking is not put in boxes. I know I'm going off the deep end. Okay, y'all, I got to get out of here. It's 3 hours, 3 hours and 34 minutes. Let me get up out of here, man. Great job, everybody. Everybody did a great job. Everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. But I always try to give y'all a little bonus round, man. But watch who you listen to, man. Qualify everybody, even me. Even me. If I tell you something, go check it out, man. Then come back on the next show and say, hey, Clarence, remember you said this? Right? Be like Sim. Be like New Growth. Them guys will send me an email in a minute. Hey, Clarence, you said this. Remember? I think you're wrong on this. Right? I don't care. Because I don't look at it like, oh, man, you disrespected me because you don't agree with me. Who cares whether you agree with me or not? As long as we're able to have an open discussion about it. You might agree with me, you might not. Or I might start agreeing with you. I don't know, man. You share enough information with me. Like M. Mills, she shared some information. Maybe change how I was looking at the situation. Because I was looking at it from one perspective, but she added more pieces to it. Now I see it this way, right? You're only as good as the information you got at the time. You want to always have the most up-to-date information. That way you can make the best decision, right? It's like when you're driving, right? You guys know when you're driving and you see way up, like most of us, we are like what? I'm usually like 2 or 3 blocks up front. My vision is usually 2 or 3 blocks ahead. You see that car in the right lane that's got the whole right lane blocked, right? You see it 3 blocks away, but the other people still going in that lane like they don't even see it, right? Then when they get to that point, they stuck there. But you see it in enough time to get over in the other lane, right? That's how we got to be, y'all. That's how we got to be. Sister Annie said, I was busy. You was busy. I know where you was at. You was at Security Boss channel, right? Sister Annie, you secretly, it's a Security Boss's channel. I know. That's okay, Sister Annie. That's okay. We still love you. We still love you. You can go watch Security Boss. You can go moderate for Security Boss. It's okay. It's okay, Sister Annie. We still love you. Shout out to Security Boss, man. Shout out to the boss camp over there. Shout out to the heathen. Shout out to Security Boss. All right, y'all. We're going to get up out of here, man. We will see y'all. Today's Thursday. Probably Sunday. Probably take Saturday off. Probably Sunday. All right. Oh, I got to do the rundown, y'all. Y'all gonna let me walk out of here without doing the rundown real quick. The chat is where it's at. The chat is where it's at. Shout out to the chat. Very strong performance. No bots. We ain't had no bots and nothing in a long time, man. See, people respect you guys, man. You guys in the chat, man, they respect you guys, man. Especially Reese, especially in Mills. They respect y'all, man. They don't come over here with no drama. Because, man, once you pull the trigger on a couple of them, man, they realize, hey, why go over there, man? They're telling the truth, and then if you go over there and troll, you're gonna look stupid. Right? That's why they don't invite me. They used to invite me places, right? When they knew they could try to jump on me. I don't get that many invites to go places no more. Not really. I think probably Black Man's the last person that probably invited me somewhere. Shout out to Black Man Unfiltered. But nobody really invites Brother Clarence nowhere. But that's okay. I'm cool with it, man. Because I probably won't go. If they're doing them big 10 people panels, I probably won't go anyway. Anyway, I've been good, Sister Annie. I've been staying on the porch. All right, y'all. Chat's where it's at. Very strong performance from the chat. Very, very solid as always. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to people with the channels. We got New Growth. Hey, man, you guys go check out New Growth Old Soul. Blackhearted with New Growth Old Soul. Go check that channel out, man. Young brother, man, got a nice little channel over there, man. Check him out. Who else? Who else is in the? Okay, I think that was the only content creator we got here. All right, let's see. Okay, who's on the panel today? Who's on the stage? We just had me, Patrice, and Vaughn, right? Well, how did Patrice do? How did Patrice do? Did good, right? Hey, shout out to Patrice, right? Give me a biggest box of oxtails y'all got here, right? Costco, right? I can't hear y'all right now because I'm in Costco getting the supersized oxtails, right? Shout out to Patrice though, man. Patrice came through. How she do? Solid as always, man. Solid as always. I mean, Patrice actually sent me this sent me this article and this information for the Shirley Strawberry situation, man. But shout out to Patrice. But very solid as always, very strong. One of the things I like about Patrice is, she could always come in and people could see a sister talking, but the conversation don't drop, right? Right? And she ain't caping for us, right? Don't get me wrong, she will cape for us, but she gonna pull us to the side and say, hey, Clarence, that ain't cool, this or that, or whatever, right? If we out of pocket, she gonna tell us, right? So shout out to Patrice, man. Shout out to Patrice. But what y'all think about her performance today? Very solid as always, very strong as always, man. Got to keep encouraging these sisters to come up here, man. Patrice, Sister Annie, Risa, whoever else want to come up here, man. We got to encourage these sisters, man. We got to show them it's a safe space for them, even if they don't agree with us. It's a safe space for them to come out and just tell us what they thinking and what's on their mind, right? Because the more you know, the more you learn, and not just men know stuff. Women know a lot of it. We got a lot of smart sisters, man. A lot of smart sisters out here. Shout out to Patrice and the rest of the sisters in the chat. Got some very smart sisters with us. Okay, but very strong performance for Patrice. Very solid. What about Vaughn Bryant? Vaughn Bryant was in the building, man. Shout out to Vaughn, man. Vaughn said he just started a new business, man. Hopefully, man. Vaughn, don't forget us when you make $1 billion, man. He's gonna forget us. Somebody gonna come and interview Vaughn one day, and Vaughn, they gonna say, hey, Vaughn, I heard you. I got some old clips of you on Let's Talk to Better Black Life. Is this you? Brother Clarence? Vaughn gonna be like, I never heard of him. like South Central, Bobby in South Central. I never heard of him. You know Ray Ray? I never heard of him. You sure you don't know Ray Ray? I never heard of him. You don't know Brother Clarence? I never heard of him. Patrice? I never heard of her. Well, let's hope. Let's hope when Vaughn make his $1 billion, he'll still remember us, right? The little people, right? Vaughn, you got to remember us, Vaughn. We were the little people that's behind you, man. Shout out to Vaughn, man. If anybody can start a business and make it work, it's Vaughn Bryant, man. Shout out to Vaughn Bryant. But that's not what we're talking about, man. What are we talking about today? How did Vaughn do today? Very solid as always, man. I like when Vaughn and Patrice and whoever else comes up here, man. When one of you guys comes up here, all of you guys come up here, makes the show go by faster. I turn around and I'm like, what? What happened? 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours later, right? That's how I get caught, right? But anyway, y'all, Vaughn did an excellent job today, as always. Very strong, very solid performance, as always. As always. All right, y'all. Let's ramp up. Sunday looks like Sunday's gonna be our next in-house visit, and we're gonna be out of here like Gwynethsphere in the stratosphere, and let's get geared up for Sunday. I don't know what the topic is. If you guys got a good one, let me know. Send it to me like Patrice, and we will get at it. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Peace.